And now we're going to add the single mothers out there, but most importantly, witness the power and the might that is the most dangerous troll on YouTube. So you guys see the title, you guys see the stream and everything like that. We are gonna have that difficult, that uncomfortable conversation today that the great BGS Ibmor has been skipping ever since he came on YouTube and started blaming BWs for everything. So the title of this one is, who was responsible for BGS Ibmor's daughter poor mating choices? The Shatterpoint number 6 response video. You see, last year, I had doxed BGS Ibmor, and then I doxed his daughter, then I doxed his grandchild, and the whole black manosphere, they were upset. They even went on flagging campaigns in the wee hours of the night to get my channel flagged down. They even succeeded in taking away a video, but they dodged and they missed the whole point of why BGS Ibmor was getting doxxed. And then last night when BGS did his video about Shatterpoint number 6 and poor mating choices, and he was debating some new Negroes who didn't know nothing about nothing because they're Johnny come latelys, BGS Ibmor exposed his hand, and that's why the Grandmaster Troll is here. BGS Ibmor, I know you watching. BGS Ibmor, I know you watching. I know your haters is watching because we already got 10 dislikes, so I know you in here. If you want to hit the link and come get this work, you could hit the link and come get this work, and we could have that difficult conversation that men are supposed to have. This is supposed to be the black manosphere, where, as you guys call it, you guys are cultivating masculinity. You are about manhood. You are about fatherhood. Okay, we are going to test that subject tonight. So let me take a look in the chat room. We got Dwayne, Reed Jones, Buster Free Drones, Real Gamer, Sway Celeste is in the building, Miss J, Zombie Hand Hustlers. We got the whole reject army. Black male first is in the building. Real Deal Financial is in the building. We are gonna cook today. I got 127 Negroes watching me. I need 127 Negroes to hit the Cash App $ the Grandmaster Troll. Put your comments in the super chat, because we gotta have a conversation today. See, those of you guys that don't know BGS Ibmor, well, the B and the G and the S stands for Black Gnostic Speaks, and Ibmor stands for Introspective Black Men of Reform. We are talking about a so-called black pill dude. We are talking about the master teacher. And what these Negroes love to do, especially the BGS Ibmors of the world, they like to blame BWs for everything. They blame BWs for the pandemic. They blame BWs when the Warriors blew that 3-1 lead. They blame BWs when they're an absentee father. They blame BWs when they get fired from their work. They blame BWs when they get put on child support. They blame BWs for divorce rate. They blame BWs for why they're incels. They blame BWs for this, BWs for that, for this and that and everything in between. And they absolve themselves from all responsibility, all culpability and all accountability. And we're not going to do that today because we got to call out your man BGS Ibmor, Real Gamer. $4.99 says, get at BGS's head, GMT. I can't wait. Can't wait. They can't wait. I can't wait either because we got a whole lot to talk about. Let's see this right here. Let's close that window. Where do I want to start? Where do I want to start? I could start in so many different directions. Let's see, can the people see me? No, they can't. Let's make this window back right here. And let's make myself, bam, reappear like that. So there was this stream yesterday. Shatterpoint 6, Black Women's Poor Mating Choices, Pookie and Ray Ray. For those of you that don't know, I go back to it. This is supposed to be BGS Ibmor's daughter. From the great BGS, he gets on YouTube and he will down talk and drag and degrade his own daughter because she is a single mother. Now, I find it very interesting that one of the people who down talks black single mothers the most actually raised a single mother. Let me explain this to you. Imagine somebody talking down criminality and criminals and their own children are the very thing that they speak out against. And instead of trying to come to some enlightenment or some understanding, you don't even mention the derelict Negro. Now we gotta understand something about the whole Angry Man situation. We gotta understand how he got big on YouTube. This is how derelict these Negroes are. You got your boy Angry Man. He got hot on YouTube by screaming and cussing about his ex-wife, or should I say, those kids' mother, screaming about child support and the gynocracy and all this nonsense. He got big down talking they mother. So when you ask his sons what they father do for a living, he does YouTube. And then when you ask him, how did your father get started on YouTube? Well, he would do live streams in the car yelling about our mother and saying how she was such a horrible person to be with in a relationship and how she did this, that, and the third. And that's how he got big. But I want to show you the example that the fathers in this space leave for their children. I'm taking you all the way back to 2018. That's right, Black Ronin. This is before the crypto talk. This is before politics.
These is goofy ass niggas, man. That's the only way to describe them. That's the only way to describe them. These is goofy ass niggas that run around running their fucking mouth about shit they don't know. And half of these other niggas that claim they fucking globe hopping, appreciate that donation down there. Half of these other niggas that think they globe hopping and shit, they ain't going nowhere real. These niggas is talking about, oh, I'm traveling and shit. Fuck out of here. I've yet to see any of these niggas show some shit of any relevance. Niggas is leaving the country so they can try and get pussy. That's what these niggas is doing.
So this is what your boy Angry Man decided to put on tape for the whole world to see. He yelling and cussing about people tricking abroad and buying that poon poon. Miss J says he got custody of his kids because he talked so much trash shit. The mama gave him the boys. I can prove it, but it lines up. This is what we are doing on you. This is what fatherhood looks like in the black message. This is on Father's Day. Go check your calendar. June 16, 2018. This is on Father's Day. But I gotta spin it back to BGS Ibmor. I gotta spin it back to BGS Ibmor because, like Drake said in the song 0 to 100 real quick, he said, know yourself, know your worth. I gotta ask you, BGS Ibmor, when it came to have that conversation with your daughter about the honey and the bumblebees and how to navigate and conduct herself in the dating world, what did you tell her? Because she ended up as a single mother with a kid out of wedlock. So I gotta play this video because it's evidently we forgot what fatherhood looked like. Let's go ahead and play this video for the people in the back real quick. We gonna play this video right here. Let me bring it up real quick. We got your boy TJ, Millionaire Mentor. We got Mr. High Value himself. It seems like only the so-called proven people with credentials, people who actually show their work and not front on the gram like your boy Kevin Samuels. It seems like the real high value man could teach their daughters about and show some fatherhood to their daughters. So I'm going to show BGS Ibmor and the Angry Mans of the world what fatherhood look like.
I got you. Okay. Always let men, boys, open the door for you. I know it's a different time, right? It's
Yes.
a different time, but still stay old school with that.
Okay.
They gotta earn your respect and they gotta treat you the way you're used to being treated. And if they can't do that, then they don't deserve to be with you. All right?
Okay.
So you have a standard that's been set, right?
Yes.
For how you're taken care of, how you're treated, right? And all of that. So you make sure that the person that you deal with, even you dealing with them, you know, you think it's not a long-term thing, you think it's
Right.
I'm getting married thing, make sure you don't drop your standard. Because as you drop your standard, what happens is when you drop your standard, you keep dropping it, you keep dropping, you get used to something new.
Right.
And I don't want you to get used to something new, right?
Stop the show right there. You see how Mr. High Value can have that talk with his daughter and explain what the standard is? Have we heard BGS Ibmor explain what the standard is? Have we heard BGS Ibmor explain what the standard he set for his daughter? Because what ended up happening was this pretty lady right here, not to be disrespectful, but it looked like, it sound like from what people have been saying on their YouTube channels when they talk about single motherhood and they talk about Pookies in the Ray Race, it sound like Miss Swanson got her back blew out by some Pookies and Ray Rays, got hit up raw, didn't hold that man to a standard, and demand that that man marry her first and put her in the house, and then she would give him her womb. It sounds like he took her out on one of these 2 for 20 dates, and then at the end of the date, he gotta run at the sack in the backseat of a car, and oops, somebody got pregnant. That's what it sounds like to me. BGS Ibmor, the way you've been talking, BGS Ibmor. We got somebody says that girl in that video didn't learn shit. Stop playing, Jimmy. I guarantee you, when we check on that young lady 15 years, 20 years from now, I guarantee you she will be married. She won't be a single mother. But I want to ask you this, BGS Ibmor, because I got 167 Negroes in here watching me. Did you at least tell your daughter to call Kevin Samuels to get some advice? I mean, you've been bigging up Kevin Samuels ever since he got to this space. Have you paid Kevin Samuels to give your daughter a consultation? Maybe Kevin Samuels could whisper in her ear and get her head right. No, that didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me show you Negroes what's going on behind the scenes and show y'all how Aria, this lady right here, let me bring up the picture again. Your girl right here, Aria Swanson, is dogging Negroes out. Let me show you some receipts. Let me show you how dirty the game is. Let me show you how dirty the game is real quick. This your girl right here, Facebook page. You see it right there, Facebook. That's right. We do homework on these Negroes. This is the Facebook page right here. And it looks like we got a text from a so-called ex. Because that's just what it says in the cell phone. No, I don't know if this is a meme or whatever. I'm just going by what's up there. The ex says, hey. Aria responds, no. The ex says, I want to be friends. Aria says, nope. And not only that, when we look at the comment section right here, we see Keith Swanson, aka BGS Ibmor, enjoying the back and forth. This is what Negroes is doing. So hold on. We have a single mother. The ex, who I'm assuming is the baby daddy. It could be another Negro. If it's another Negro, we are potentially talking about a stepfather. So we talking about baby daddy, potential stepfather, and your girl Aria Swanson rather be a single mother. And your boy BGS Ibmor is co-signing it. This is what Negroes is doing, but they get on YouTube branded as the master teacher. branded as the master teacher, talking all this trash about single women and how single BWs or their sons are they can't read at a grade level because single mothers are such terrible. That's what they want you to believe. But now we gotta review the video because we gotta use BGS Ibmor logic on BGS Ibmor. See, you could trick up the Johnny Come Latelys, the 22-year-olds, but you can't trick up GMT because I've been watching you too long, BGS Ibmor. I know all your tricks. I know all your tricks, BGS Ibmor. So you better be glad I wasn't on this panel, BGS Ibmor, because you would have had to answer some real questions, BGS Ibmor. This is why I go in people's background. This is why I dox them, expose them. This is why right here. So when they start making these arguments like we're about to see BGS Ibmor make, we could put the pieces of the puzzle together. And when we put the pieces of the puzzle together, we could talk about BW's poor mating choices and whose fault it is. Because now we going to use BGS Ibmor logic. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run the clip and I'm going to break it down for you, BGS Ibmor, because the brothers got some questions we want to ask you, particularly about this so-called situation here that I'm breaking down.
Okay. In fact, the women that do have the biggest representation
are black women.
are the ones that are educated. Okay, because I talked to the PhDs. Guess what? Guess who the men that they're talking about? They're not talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. Who they?
Stop the show right there. Stop the show right there. When I had doxed your boy way back when, I doxed the whole Swanson family or half of the Swanson family tree. Your boy BGS Ibmor, instead of talking about the talking points, what he wanted to do is he wanted to cry to YouTube, he wanted to cry to Copa, he wanted to flag me down, but he said according to him, his daughter was better than me because she had a PhD, this, that, and the third, and I just sat back and he tried to call me a cockroach because I talked about his grandson, even though I did not say one derogatory term about his grandson. I just asked, why did it take you, BGS Ibmor, 7 years for your grandson to get a haircut? Why didn't the father give his own son a haircut? I mean, what the hell is going on? Are men involved in this child's life to the point where he won't get the effects of single motherhood? You know, the same effects that you cry about on your channel, BGS Ibmor? That was all I asked. I didn't say the kid was stupid. I didn't say he was dumb. I didn't say he was slow. I didn't say he was violent. I didn't say none of that. All I asked you, BGS Ibmor, if you know all the challenges with black boys and single motherhood, why did it take 7 years to give your grandson a haircut? And more importantly, why did it take another kindergartner classmate? Because the only reason he got the haircut is because one of his classmates confused him for a girl, because that's how long his hair was. And all I'm saying, why are his classmates dictating what's going on in the Swanson family? That was all I asked, BGS Ibmor. The people didn't get an answer. And the reason why the people didn't get an answer, because you wanted to cry to YouTube, you wanted to cry to Copa and make it sound like I was dragging your grandson, which I clearly wasn't. I hope that young man is able to rise up against the odds of being raised by a single mother and goes on to do great things. I hope you help him out. I hope he establishes a relationship, a strong relationship with his father if he doesn't already have one. I wish that young man the best of success in this world. But he can only get that if there's other strong men around him, according to the things that you say on your channel. But let's get back to this live stream right here, because we're going to start dissecting some of the things you said.
They're talking about.
Who are they talking about?
They're talking about the men in their group. They complain about the men in their group. They don't those guys, those women. Do they screw Pookie and Ray Ray from time to time? Sure. Are those are the ones that father their children? No.
So what you think? So you're saying that they mostly just screw Pookie and Ray Ray? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. What I'm saying is that said the women screw by class. Okay. Men and women screw by class. The vast majority they sort by class. Okay, so a woman that's educated, got a master's, she's not gonna settle for some dude that's on general relief. Are you kidding?
Stop the show right there, BGS Ibmor. The people want to know. I mean, your daughter got knocked up. Was it by a Pookie or Ray Ray? Was it by an educated lane? Did he have a degree? I mean, you seem to talk about everybody else, but we never hear about the so-called missing father. In fact, since we're talking about the breakdown of the family, BGS Ibmor, let's talk about the breakdown of the family, BGS Ibmor, because if you was doing your job as a father, BGS Ibmor, when I go to your Facebook page, of course I would see pictures of you, your kids, all that good stuff, your grandson. But what I don't see, BGS Ibmor, what I don't see is a picture of you and this kid's father, and y'all are arm in arm, y'all are and have a healthy relationship because you want to see the best for your grandson. Those pictures are absent. So when we talk about the breakdown of the family, well, we can see it right there in the Swanson family pictures. The father is clearly absent. So BGS Ibmor, the brothers want to know. The brothers want to know, even though we know you're not going to answer. And the reason we know you're not going to answer because you don't stand for nothing. You just want to blame black women and collect a couple of donations while doing it. That's all it is, BGS Ibmor. I mean, you talk so bad about your daughter. You don't even mention the absentee father. Is he a good dude? Is he a good dude? It's just absent. I got 177 people watching. I need 177 people to hit the Cash App. Abdul and Siova came through. Siova says, always gotta support a BGS troll. Salute to my man Siova. But the people just want to know, BGS Ibmor, the father's been absent. Too many times these absentee fathers in this space are allowed to skate. And all the onus gets put on the single mother, as you're about to do in this video. Once I keep playing it, so let's get back to the good stuff.
Okay, yeah, I understand that, of course.
If they really, basically, if black women really love Pookie and Ray Ray so much, right, and they love dudes that are destitute or whatever, that are thuggish, right? Okay, all them dudes to get out of jail that are homeless, how come they don't go down and get them and put them in a house or put them in a place?
Well, Why would they?
In other words, exactly what I'm saying. The vast majority of Dre can tell you, Dre's not a Pookie and Ray Ray, right? And Dre, I'm sure you know. And Dre's told his story because he's got a couple of kids by a couple of different women, and I guarantee you, they talk about Dre's ass like they talk about Pookie and Ray Ray.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, what the number one I'm saying is that when we talk about black women making bad choices and shit like that, that's what they say. Okay, in other words, say if you know a woman, right, that says she made a bad choice. She made a bad choice by having a baby daddy that ain't no good, right? Okay. Did you actually get the dude side of the story?
Right.
Did you?
I agree that they're putting black.
I wish I could get. I wish I could get the dad's side of the story as it pertains to this case. I mean, that story is missing. I mean, I'm proud. I already know how the story goes. You know, Aria Swanson was hard headed. You know, she ran me off of my fatherly responsibilities. You know, I just rather have nothing to do with the kid because, you know, the mother's not healthy to be around. You know, I tried to do everything I can, but at the end of the day, man, it was just too much of a headache. You know, it caused too much stress. You know, you got, you know, spiritual abuse, you got emotional abuse, you even got a little bit of physical abuse, you know, and I just couldn't be around her, so I just thought it would be better, you know, if I just walk away and leave the situation and just go ahead and pay the child support. I know. That's probably his side of the story, because that's the side of the story most dudes in the manosphere ask, and most dudes in the world have. This is why we have this so-called 80% single mother rate, but I'm going to let BGS explain it some more.
Men over
No. I'm asking you a specific question. I'll say it again. Have you ever had a woman complain to you about the father of her child, the guy that she dated back in the past?
No, I haven't.
You never had that, okay?
Well,
in other words, was it so where are you getting your information from?
What do you mean I'm getting my info? What do you mean where I'm getting my information?
In other words, you're saying we make it as hard for black women as black men make it hard for us. Okay? Is it? In other words, what you're saying is that, which is I was trying to understand what you were talking about, because I'm not getting your point. Okay. In other words, the black men have really no control about them being arrested or going to jail, or them being destitute, or even how they're educated. Okay.
Stop the show right there. What did BGS Ibmor just say? Black men have no say, whether if they go to jail or if they're arrested or if they're destitute? Is that where we're going? BGS Ibmor, they have no say in whether they go to jail or arrested. So black men don't choose if they're going to commit a crime or not commit a crime. BGS Ibmor, let's go ahead and run that back.
In other words, the black men have really no control about them being arrested or going to jail, or them being destitute, or even how they're educated. Okay, they don't have no control over that. In fact, the biggest control over a black boy's outcome is his mother. Okay, who basically for the last 50 years have been complaining about black men and their education, right? 50 years later, guess what? The reading levels and the math levels are lower than they were 50 years ago. Yeah. So guess who doesn't care about the boys or the men?
Well, I think it's a combined effort.
Come on, man, bullshit.
So your boy D tried to say it's a combined effort, and BGS said bullshit. Go ahead, BGS, because you're about to walk yourself in a trap, and you didn't even know it, because you had no idea the Grandmaster Troll was going to do this live.
On the woman.
Okay. Who has control? Say if you were a single father, you have kids?
Do I have kids? No, I have no kids.
Okay. Say you had a child, right?
Yes.
Say you had a boy, girl, doesn't matter, right? Okay. If your child was below reading level, would you be concerned?
Absolutely.
If your child was basically flunking out of school, male or female, would you be concerned?
Absolutely.
Would you take efforts to actually get the child tutoring, talk to the teachers, whatever it needs to done to get the child's reading level up? In fact, spend time at the table doing homework or whatever you need to do, get the child's educational level up. Would you do that?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so because you have possession of that child, right?
Yes.
Would you blame the mother if you had, say if you were a single father, would you blame the mother about the education of that child? And you have possession of that child, would you?
Well, this is
No, ain't no would this. We're not dodging it. This is pure logic, okay?
I'm not.
So let's go ahead and break down. Let's go ahead and break down the BGS Ibmor logic. If you're a single father and you have a child, and that child is struggling in school, he asks him the 3 questions. Doesn't that concern you? Yes. Are you going to see that you get your child, up to reading level? He has good grades? Yeah. And if he does it and he's a failure in school, do you blame the absent single mother? Or is it on the parent who's presently there? Now, this is where D got tripped up, because BGS Ibmor is the same tactic. He'll ask you questions where the obvious answer is yes. So he hit him with 3 questions where the obvious answer was yes. And then the setup answer, it puts you in a position where you think the answer is going to be yes. But D, he's not wise to the game. See, the Grandmaster Troll, I'm wise to the game. Well, if you're giving the kid, if you're giving them all the tutors, the books, you're studying with him, you're putting them in different programs, and he just can't get up to par on his reading, technically, if we're being honest, it's not the absent mother's fault or the single father's fault who's involved. It's up to that kid to perform at the level where he could pass his classes. If we're keeping it 100, but D, he didn't want to say that because the answer that he's being led to is, you can't blame the absent mother because she's not there. So the responsibility for that kid not passing his classes, even though the father is doing everything in his power to pass it, it's somehow the father's fault. You see, BGS Ibmor, if we use that same BGS Ibmor logic, if your daughter's starting it up in high school, starting it up in college, then she gets knocked up and becomes a single mother, do we blame the absentee father or the absentee mother, or do we look at the father who was present? If we going by your logic, BGS Ibmor, that you just displayed, well, the reason why the person to blame for your daughter's mating choices, BGS Ibmor, it would be on you and not the daughter, because you are the active parent. If we just going by BGS Ibmor logic, but I'm going to show you how your boy got tripped up right here. He got tripped up. He started stumbling and bubbling. He had no idea what to say.
Because you get ready to dodge. Would you? I'm not talking about this, that, or the other. Would you blame the mother of that child?
I would do everything. that my child is educated.
That's not an answer to the question. Come on, man. We men over here. We don't dodge questions.
Man, come on, dude. Either you was raised by a single mama or you thinking the way she is. You know damn well if it was two dudes at a business and one dude walked away, there's no way in hell I'm gonna blame you after you walked away from the business for my business failing.
Stop the show right there. You see, you guys see the shaming language? You see the shaming language right there? Oh, the old school shaming language. See, this is how you got to deal with shaming language. When they say, come on, man, we're a grown man here. Come on, be a man. Stop dodging questions, man. That's what women do. That's what single women do. Are you raised by a single mother? You see the shaming language? Then they tried to hit you. If you had a business and your business partner left and the business failed, would you blame your business partner for the business failing? See, it's so much intricacies and variables in that question. For instance, I'm a big-time Houston Rocket fan. We started the season, we had Russell Westbrook and James Harden. Last year, we were the 4th seed, made the playoffs, could have did something against the Lakers, but one of the good role players tried to sneak a thought into the hotel room, got sent home, and we ended up losing. So we came back this year. We had high hopes. You know, we had Boogie Cousins. Then we traded Russell Westbrook for John Wall. Then we had James Harden and all of that. And then James Harden demanded a trade, and the Houston Rockets had to trade James Harden. Now, would it be fair for the coach to say, well, the reason we fell below expectations is because, well, we had to trade away 2 of our star players. We had to trade away one of the top 5 players in the NBA, and that's why we have a losing record right now. See, it all makes sense. If you have a business and a business partner, and your business partner has certain responsibilities, and he was good at those responsibilities, and he leaves, and you can't find a replacement who could do those same responsibilities as the ex-business partner, well, one of the reasons your business is failing because that part that your business partner had, the performance in that area is suffering, and that's causing the business to fail, even though he's not there. You see how if you work the intricacies and the variables, but when you on these panels with BGS Ibmor and you got his cult followers behind you, this is how you get tricked up. And I'm tired of seeing these young brothers get up on BGS Ibmor's platform, debate after debate with the same tactics, the same debate tactics, the same. I'm going to ask them 4 questions where the answer is yes, and then when I get to my big question, he's going to feel that the correct answer is yes, or they try to make you say yes or no, and there's some intricacies within those questions. But that's what they like to do over on that stream. So let's listen to how they trip this brother up. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link and see who wants to come up. And we could talk about who is the blame for Aria Swanson getting knocked up and being a single mother. Oh, yeah. We are going to talk about it today. We are going to talk about it today. My man S says Negroes love single mothers. Stop the BS. They overlook childless single women every day. We just want to know, BGS Ibmor, did you talk? Did you talk to the baby daddy at least?
And
Come
on
on,
top
man.
of that, then on top of that, let's talk some fucking facts. Let's talk some straight up facts. If they really get, you
Hold
got
on,
Dr. T,
hold on a second. Smargo, get your ass up here, man.
you got Dr. T Johnson every week telling you how the hell can you let 75% of the kids in the black community raised by single moms, only 10% can read on fucking level at 8th grade?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, in fact, Dr. T, because I talk to Dr. T all the time. I'm a good friend of mine, but good brother. Okay. And he's told me multiple times. He knows he teaches at a university. You can look him up. Teaches at a university.
You see how they try to weaponize? You see how they try to weaponize your boy? They tried to weaponize your boy, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson. 75% single mothers and the kids can't read at grade level, and it's somehow it's 100% on the single mother because the father is somewhere else doing whatever. They just want to absolve the men. They want to absolve these deadbeat fathers. You got all these dudes out here smashing and dashing, pumping and dumping. Then you got all these kids raised in single mother households. And all the blame is getting put on single mothers, and all those deadbeat fathers are being absolved from it. This is where we are at right now. This is where we are at right now. And the thing about it, if you keep absolving a whole gender of people just because they're absent, they're out here smashing and dashing, they know they got kids out there, they know they know their sons can't read. Instead of them trying to help their sons read because it's obvious the single mothers can't do it, these so-called fathers still won't step up. And guys like BGS Ibmor absolves them. Hold on, I got somebody on StreamYard looking to come up and join the conversation. Let me get everything started real quick. Didn't want to do that. Slide that up right here. Okay. We got somebody up here. Oh, we got the wise Miss J. Her name been ringing in my comment sections. They say Miss J is the only person that makes sense on these panels. How you doing, Miss J? Tell us what's on your mind.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're correct about what you heard and basically the recap of what's going on. And he's been telling her business out in the street for years. Because I used to be on the BGS for Women panel, and he's told stories about every single female member of his family, his grandma, his mom, his 2 daughters, his long-term fiance, the woman he had children with. So, yeah. I even know information about his son's wife. It's just, he likes to share.
Mm-hmm.
So, but basically the girl that he talks about who was a single mom, apparently her birth control failed. So she wasn't out there thotting up without birth control. She switched birth control methods, and it didn't want to, while she was switching, it didn't work. So
hold on, but I thought, according to the space, you were supposed to marry before you carry.
True. And he said that the father of the child wanted to marry her and she didn't want to marry him because he's not a pookie, but at the same time, he didn't go to college. and she wanted someone who went to college like her.
Oh,
So she decided not to marry him.
Oh, so according to Kevin Samuels, he wasn't good enough.
I mean, that's the story that he said. Like I said, I don't know these people. I'm just going by what he said.
Okay.
That he offered to marry her, and she turned him down. His grandmother her grandmother, his mother was upset about it, but her mom was understanding about it.
So why, again, according we got to go to Kevin Samuels because he talks about this a lot on this show. Why do these women get pregnant by guys who, what appears, as you said, was a somewhat decent dude, wasn't college educated, probably not high value according to the numbers, but why go be a single mother, raise a kid in a not intact family when you could do something better and get a better outcome for yourself?
She was raised in one, so it was normal to her.
What do you mean by she was raised in one?
BGS did not marry the mother of her mother. BGS wasn't raised in the house with the children after a certain age. They broke up, he left, and the mom had some sort of relationship with somebody else, and he was like co-parenting, and then he ended up being engaged to somebody else later on. So they weren't, the three children, because he has 2 daughters and a son, they weren't raised in an intact family. She probably didn't think anything of it.
Okay. So everybody, it looks like, because I did a show on Dennis Sperling the other day. It seems like everybody is out here co-parenting. Does co-parenting really work?
I mean, he said his children came out, okay. The mom wasn't financially struggling, and like I said, she didn't think that it was going to turn out bad. So that's why she didn't really feel the incentive to get married.
Okay. So I learned something new every day. So the birth control malfunctioned, and she didn't want to marry the good dude, and she would rather enter Kevin Samuels' dating zone.
I mean, I don't know if she's trying to get a high value man.
I just know that everybody trying to get a high value man.
I mean, supposedly, but I'm just saying that's basically it. She just wanted to get married. She did not want to marry him specifically. Put it that way. He said it was because she wanted someone who went to college and was educated, but he just said she did not want to marry him. So that's what was going on.
So why wasn't she taught to not have unprotected sex unless she with a person?
According to him, she was.
Person...
According to him, she was having protected sex. The birth control failed.
So you mean to tell me the dude was strapped up, the condom didn't work, and the birth control failed, and she ended up pregnant? Is that what they want us to believe now? Instead of just coming out and saying, you know what, I let the man hit raw that night. We were drunk. I was young and dumb, and and I ended up getting pregnant, and I chose to have the baby, even though I didn't want to marry the baby's father. I just wanted to have a baby because that's been my main goal all my life.
She wasn't. No, she definitely was not trying to get pregnant. That wasn't it. He said that this was a surprise and her birth control failed. She wasn't out there trying to get pregnant. But once she got pregnant, she kept the baby.
If you believe that, I've got a bridge to sell you, mate.
I'm not saying what I believe. Like I said, I don't know these people. I'm just going by the words that came out of his mouth. I've never met these people. I'm just going by what he said.
Don't be on the fence. Do you believe it or not? Simple as that.
It's not up for me to believe. I'm just saying. I'm just repeating what I heard. It's not up for me to believe. I don't know these people. I don't know them from nobody.
But you can have an opinion, can't you? It's not just about.
I don't think it was
being-
wise for her to have to get pregnant. Put it that way. I don't agree with that decision, but I mean, it wasn't my choice. I don't do that.
No,
But
I
I'm
know,
just
but
saying
what
that's
I no, I understand that, but that's the issue. That's one of the issues in our community. That it's not me, it's not my family. I don't really, it doesn't affect me.
it's not
But
for me to judge. They're
it is.
grown
But
people.
do you know what? Do you know? I feel like this is one of the issues in the community, that it's not for me to judge, and it's not my problem. Mind your business and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not attacking you, Miss J, but sometimes it just gets frustrating because in other groups they work as a collective, and what one person does, they realize that it affects the whole group and the community, and it makes them all look bad. And having kids out of wedlock, not being married to the individual, and all of that sort of stuff is looked down upon in every other community except ours. I would say in other places you can get your head taken off if you do some stuff like that, or you get sent away and you come back and automatically that child becomes your brother. That's how embarrassing it can be. But in our community, it's almost like celebrated, this single
But
motherhood.
our
And
community, the community in America
I'm
doesn't even have the highest out of wedlock birth rate. Period.
I'm
Anyway,
not
so
I'm
I
not
mean,
I'm not specifically talking for just America. I'm
I
even
know. I'm
in,
just saying, but black people, we don't have the highest out of wedlock birth rate. We get talked about the most, but we don't.
it doesn't
Hispanic
it do-
women do.
okay, who has the highest out of wedlock birth rate?
Hispanics in Latin America.
Hispanic. Okay, but regardless, it's a problem. So we're
Okay, I never said
I'm
it
just
wasn't a
I'm just
problem.
gonna
I'm just simply saying it's not for me to get out here and say
no, I
what I
know,
think
but
about what she does with her womb. That's her business. I'm just simply repeating what was said. I'm not here to judge her because it's not my business.
I know, but I have a different opinion because I feel
That's
like
cool.
I think that that's the reason why we have these issues in our community, because everybody's like working as an individual, and we don't have the highest out of wedlock birth rate. So what? It's not a stat you want to lead. It's high enough as it is, and that's the reason why we have some of the problems that we do have. I feel because we're always like, just mind your business, and there's no shame in having kids out of wedlock. There's no embarrassment anymore, and it's almost celebrated like, I'm a strong black woman, and it shouldn't be that way. And an individual that's a single mother is very likely going to raise children that are going to be single mothers as well. And that's the reason why people don't want to get married, because you're marrying individuals that come from single parent households and they don't know how to maintain or keep a relationship because they never saw it. And they're so quick to quit because their default is single motherhood. And it's just the cycle continues. I was reading the chat, and some of the black women in the chat were talking about, black men need to stop making out of wedlock kids and marry these women and whatnot like that. And it's like, and then black men are saying they don't want to marry women who come from single parent households because they don't know the first thing about being wives and maintaining relationships and whatnot like that. And the cycle just continues. What's the solution? Grandmaster Troll, chime in, mate.
What is the solution? Well, I will.
I mean, it's not just a one-side thing, though, to be honest with you. I mean, you can learn how to be a good wife all you want to, but if you don't have someone who knows how to be a good husband, what the hell the difference does it make? This is a two-sided issue. So I'm just saying, I definitely agree that black women need to do better about having children out of wedlock. I agree with that. That's something that we can control, and that's something that we need to take control of our wombs. You will never hear me say anything different. I'm just saying, I don't believe it's my decision to go ahead and tell someone else what to do with their womb, because again, it's not mine. But that's the reason why I don't have kids. But everybody does stuff differently, and I'm not going to go ahead and bash someone because they went ahead and made the decision that they made. That's their choice. As long as they can handle it, I mean, it is what it is. But me saying something about someone I've never even met on YouTube ain't going to do nothing.
It doesn't matter. It's an individual.
It does matter.
That is in your.
You're asking me to fix something from grown people that I don't even know.
You have the I'm an individual mindset.
That
and
I
we're
do,
judged
because
as
that's
a
what I am.
collective.
That's how it is for
No,
Black
you're
people in
not.
America.
You're not.
We don't
You're
have
not.
we
You're
don't
like
have a community, fam.
you're like we don't have a community because of
We
people
don't.
like this who have the individual mindset. That's the issue.
It's been that
It's
way for
like
many
you,
decades, longer than
you
I've been
sound like
alive.
you sound
And
like you sound like the individual that made it and became rich and is like, well, you know what?
well,
Forget the rest of the people that are behind me. It doesn't matter. You're still judged as
okay,
a
but I'm
black
saying, how
person.
do you expect me to change, go back in time and change somebody that already made the decision? I mean, you expect me to
I'm
get
not
one of the
expecting
infinity
you.
time zones and turn back the hands of time to tell this woman use
I
the
didn't
correct
say
birth
that you
control?
can't. I'm not saying that you can't change what's already occurred, but
Okay.
we can change the future. And by changing our mindset, by bringing shame back, like I said, who are the individuals that are doing best in society right now? And they're the individuals we could learn from those sort of individuals because, for example, they value marriage. In fact, they go so far as to arrange marriages. Okay. They value entrepreneurship. Okay. They value studying strong subjects that mean something. Okay. Becoming doctors, lawyers, bankers, whatever, not studying some bullshit course at university for, or at college or whatever. Okay. They, in their community, having kids out of wedlock is shamed. The kids know that if they wind up pregnant, they better get to the clinic ASAP and not try and bring this notion of, oh, I'm a strong individual and I can look after the kid myself. They
So
understand
if
that
they
two
get
parent.
pregnant, they need to go to the abortion clinic and get rid of it. I mean, because y'all
Absolutely.
also talk shit about Black women who do that. So I mean, come on. You don't want to
No,
get married till you're 35.
in
You
the first
don't.
in the first instance, you should use protection.
No, in
Okay.
the first instance, they
In
shouldn't be having sex with these
2021,
men.
in
In
2021,
first instance, they shouldn't be having sex with them. Not about protection.
yeah, but if it does happen, accidents do
I'm saying
happen.
I'm going by
They have
those are my beliefs.
that.
80% of these people you shouldn't be having sex with. Period.
That's look, but like I said, people are young, people are dumb, okay,
No, then
and
you want to have your
and
cake and eat it too, and put it all on the woman.
I'm not saying
Again,
that you
what
should
the
have your
Black
cake
women
and eat
should
it
say
too. What
is,
I'm
until
saying,
you have a job, until you're ready to
don't get
provide for a
sensitive, Miss
family,
J.
until you're ready to go ahead and get married, don't have sex. If we did that, we would solve all these problems. But
Yeah,
people
but
don't
not
want to say that
everybody.
part.
Yeah, but not everybody's on code, and not everyone's
Of
gonna listen.
course, but I'm saying
And what
that's the
I'm
code
saying,
we
and
should be on. Let's be
yeah,
on
we
that
should.
Middle East code. If you want to
No,
have
what I'm
sex,
saying,
be married,
and
and
Middle
then
Easterns,
that
they
will
don't.
solve everything.
And Middle Easterns, they don't follow that code to a T as well. And like I said,
Okay, but I'm just
when
saying,
the
let's
kids
go ahead and
mess
do it
up,
all the
they're
way
smart
right.
enough. When the kids mess up, they're smart enough to get themselves to the clinic and not realize, and not with that nonsense that, oh, I'm gonna raise the kid, or I've got something growing inside of me, so I'm gonna have this kid regardless. And you have no stability in your own life. You've never even paid
Okay,
a bill in
well,
your life.
well,
What kind of nonsense is that? But in any case,
I
GMT,
agree. It's
I
not.
wanted.
It is a messed up mentality. I agree with that. You should not have children when you're poor. You should not be having sex with people who are poor. You should not be having sex with people who don't want to be in committed relationship with you.
Yeah, I know, but the thing
All
is, I
those
feel like
things.
more kids would go on the right path if there was
Okay, I'm
consequence,
saying, and
and
most
if
Black
shame
kids
was
actually
brought back.
wouldn't be born. If we followed that, most Black kids actually wouldn't be born. But if you want to go that route, let's do that.
Well, in any case, I feel
18%. I'm saying 18% of the Black children who were born, we would only be birthing 18% of the Black children. So if you want to go ahead and do that,
yes, but would
go ahead.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
yeah, but
I don't.
yeah,
I'm
but
saying it's up to you. It's
quality
up
over
to you. If that's
quantity,
what you want to go ahead and do, then cool.
quality over quantity, because what is happening right
I
now is
agree.
not working.
I agree. It's not working.
We're at the bottom economically. Okay,
We are.
we're at the bottom. Yeah, we're at the bottom economically. What we're doing
We
is
are.
not
We are at the
working.
bottom
Okay.
economically, globally.
So
Even the ones who are married, we're still at the bottom. So we need to
Yeah.
work on that.
let me
Yeah,
ask let me ask, let me ask,
and
let me ask you this, Lex Luthor, because you didn't like Miss J's her rugged individualism to make the best choices for herself. Why do you have a problem with that? If she sees that the majority of people are acting in erratically and it's costing them more harm than good, and she doesn't want to partake in it, why are you so hard on Miss J for her individual decision?
well, I'm not being hard specifically on Miss J. I'm hard on that mindset that of being an individual. It reminds me of that chap, what was his name, Jalen, that was going off on grandma. Okay, typically, if you take 10 black people, in my opinion, with that individual mindset, they'll say, well, he's not my child, he's not my friend, I don't know him personally, so and grandma, she's not my grandma, so you know what I mean, I'm not getting involved, you know what I mean, I'm not. And we see that every day play out in real life. People say, I'm not going to get involved. They can see a woman being battered on the street, okay, and they just turn a blind eye and say, I'm not getting involved, it's got nothing to do with me, she's not my family member. And that individual mindset is destructive, and we saw that in Jalen. And at the end of the day, we concluded that people need to step up, people need to speak up, okay? And he's doing wrong, and he needs to be shamed for that, and he needs to be told that he's doing wrong. And it's the same mindset that I see with single motherhood and whatnot like that, because in other communities, every other community, they have shame, and we used to have shame in our community as well. It used to be seen as
we also used to have shotgun weddings. Why don't we have that anymore?
Sorry, Miss J. Let me just finish what I'm saying, okay? And then I'll let you guys. I know I've been talking a little while, but you're not going to get very far as an individual. And it reminds me of the individuals that make it, quote unquote, out of the hood, okay? And then they say this, that, well, you know what, I'm rich, I got my Bentley, I got my mansion, I'm good. It doesn't matter. When you leave your little bubble, you're seen as a black person, and economically, we're at the bottom, okay? We're leading stats, which we shouldn't be leading. And the groups that succeed have a group mindset, okay? If you're
I'm saying, how is shaming one side gonna solve it if two sides?
It's not shaming. You shouldn't shame one side. I'm not saying this, that black men shouldn't be held accountable for what they do. Okay, it's absolutely disgusting and disgraceful. But okay, as I'm sure you've heard before, women hold the power to sex. Okay, they hold the key to sex. Okay, and sex can lead to having children. Okay?
Well, that's because men allow it. Men allow it. Men allow we should.
But I'm saying we black women should go with that though. Sex.
No, see, look. This is the thing. I get what the brother is saying. Shout out to GMT, whatever. Shout out to y'all on the panel. But the whole thing is, unfortunately, in America, the so-called black men have a different experience. He has to deal with the most unpredictable shit. So at this point, it's up to the smart black men. You cannot leave it up to most black men, because typical black men will do typical shit. And that's a fact. You know what I mean? And this is why the manosphere stand out. Even though people say, oh, you hate women, you're bitter, you're hurt. That's not true. We're just looking at the outcomes of the reality of black people. Like, especially for me, like, when I'm off these streams in my real life, yeah, I got black supervisors and HR and all this, you know, and they still doing the same ignorant, stupid shit. And they act dumb like they don't know nothing. You know to have class. You know to not be so damn bliggity black. Like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? And that's the problem right there.
Yeah, but that's why it goes back to my point about the smarter people. I'm using the wrong word, but the people who maybe know better need to speak up and talk to the people that are quote unquote fucking up.
Yeah, it's a problem with that. It's a problem with that. No thanks to the manosphere. They call you lame and boring and corny. Remember? You talk right. Remember? Listen. This is the experience of black people in America. Oh, you're talking too smart. Oh, you sound white. Oh, you're different. You're lame, and you're this, and you. That's bullshit. But black people believe these things. Think about it.
Yeah, I know. But if enough people are speaking up, just like I keep going back to the Jalen situation. Okay, if a black person's messing up, rather than just saying, you know what, it's got nothing to do with me, I'm not going to get involved. And if enough individuals speak up, that goes away. Okay, and I just feel like too many people, like I'm saying, when back to GMT's question, have the individual mindset that, oh, it ain't my family, I'm not getting involved. And in other communities, one person having all the strength and the knowledge in the world is not going to beat 10 average people. It's just not going to happen. You work for.
What I'm saying is, but if black women had the mindset it's truly going to take to avoid single motherhood, which is basically we're going to cut off sexual access.
Yep.
To a large degree of men. Let's be real.
Yep. Be realistic.
I'm just saying, be real and say that's going to cut it down until you basically have your finances in order and you are not only marriage minded but marriage qualified, because those are two separate things. You're not going to have any sex. Imagine what the other side is going to have. We'll say that we went ahead and preached that message, and we said black women. No, because what happens is you want to tell black women to have sex, but just use birth control.
Oh,
but the only way the only way to prevent single motherhood 100% is to basically abstinence until you're married. We preach that message. There's gonna be a whole lot of unhappy people there. So if you're gonna go there, go all the way. Don't do half and half. You want to change the community, change the community the right way. Don't do that whole half and half thing. That ain't gonna work. Where you put it all on them. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. Okay, let's be the gatekeepers of sex, black women. That's what we can. That's what we can control.
Wait, that's not the reality, Ms. J.
It can be the reality. It can be the reality. If we all decide to change it, it can be the reality.
No, y'all don't want to do that. Black women love to have sex.
Want to do that.
Be honest. Let's be
honest and say that we can control that 100%, and we take it on ourselves and say we are going to control the out of wedlock birth rates. Let's do that.
Because you love a man too much, and black women won't admit it. But they really love men so much they don't know how to handle it.
Of course, we're the Jezebels. We've been the Jezebels for decades. We've been the Jezebels for centuries.
I wouldn't say that.
Miss J, you're missing the point. You need to pick the right individual.
If we're gonna have that mentality and save the community, let's go the whole way. It's on black women.
Look,
we
listen,
can control this. Let's control it, black women.
You know what? Let me tell you something. Because men love sex so much, if that was the case, I guarantee you they would change, or at least they would pretend to change in order to get what they want. But the point that we're making is that, the point that I'm making is that
you want to have your cake too.
Women need, not at all. Let me finish. Let me finish. Women need to pick. Women need to pick better, as opposed to picking men superficial on superficial traits. On superficial traits such as, what is it? How tall is it?
The information is out there. We choose wrong. We choose the wrong fathers for our children. We choose the wrong sexual partners. We choose wrong, and we do need to choose better. It is undeniable. We need to choose better. So let's choose better.
But look, Ms. J, that's because women need a hierarchy of women. Y'all need women who are in positions of power to tell women this is the standard. Stop. Listen. My biggest thing is this: the fact that women want to sleep with a man because he's cute. That is so corny.
That is
and
wrong.
Women like thinking like that.
Wrong.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. Oh, wow, really? Oh, you like
we should choose men who we want to. We should sleep with men based on their productivity, based on their income, based on whether or not they can provide, based on their intellect. That's who we should sleep with. Oh, and then also make sure they marry us first, because again, we don't want to have children out of wedlock. And the only way to make sure you're not going to have children out of wedlock is don't have sex before you're married.
Listen, women love curiosity.
Oh,
women love to be on the edge, and they love to be
why aren't you preaching that message though? Why don't you want to get on board with that message? Because it's the truth. If you want to have cut out of wedlock birth rates, have sex when you're married. It's in the Bible.
So now we giving. Hold on, wait. Now we're giving you commitment. And what are you going to do?
No, not commitment. Marriage. Because you can say whatever you want. You need to have that paper signed.
Listen, a man is willing to give his finances, his personality, his time, his security. And you still would be so ungrateful. And you still would run him out. And you still would treat him like he's nothing. You still would disrespect him. You still would snap your neck and run your goddamn mouth. That is a problem. And women don't want to admit it.
So it's not the out of wedlock birth rate now. It's all that other stuff too. I'm just saying, you said we should work on
Miss J, you're being no disrespect, but you're being a bit defensive. You can't have a productive conversation if you're just being defensive like that.
That's how you solve the problem.
Do you know what?
Do you want to solve the problem?
That won't solve the problem, because a lot of guys will deceive these women they'll be willing to get married 100 times and get divorced 100 times just to hit it. Okay. At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words, and you need to look for somebody who is family orientated. Pick people on good qualities and good traits as opposed to superficial shit like, oh, he's 6'5", oh, he's cute, he runs the block or whatever it is.
Should be able
You
to
need
support
to
a family.
other groups, they don't let love lead. Okay. They it's more based on respect. The relationship is based on respect and what can the individual bring to the relationship. Oh, he has a solid job. Oh, he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a banker, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Oh, he's family oriented, he comes from good stock. Not opposed to okay, but anyway, GMT, you asked me a question about why was I being hard on Miss J's individual mindset. And I basically summarized by saying that you don't get far as an individual. Okay, one person who has all the strength in the world isn't going to beat 10 people who are of average stock, and that's the problem in our community, that we have an individual mindset as opposed to a collective one. Oh, it's not my problem. Oh, Jalen's not my family member. Grandma ain't my grandma, so I'm not getting involved.
But I offered a collective solution though.
And
I offered a
so I feel like
solution.
other groups, they get far because they have a collective mindset. They work as a collective. What do you think about that?
You have to. Go ahead, Ms. J.
How does that
Yeah,
work?
I'm just saying that is the collective solution that other communities have, where basically they get married before they have kids. So we have the problem where we're having children either way. Like obviously we cannot control our fertility.
I agree.
You have to control
Marry
the
before
sex.
you carry. I agree.
Right.
Yeah, but see, my thing
you have
is,
to control the sex. We are extra fertilized. We just pop out kids
that's
like
not the
it's
point.
unbelievable. When our eggs drop, they just automatically just get fertilized. So we have to make sure and know
it don't matter.
if we carry that
Woman,
gene that just can have 17 kids. Only have sex when you're married, and that's gonna
a
solve
lot
the
of you
problem.
women want men. Why you act like you don't want men and you're so stubborn?
I'm just saying, but we
you're
need
so
to control
arrogant,
our
like
sex.
you don't want a man. Like what?
We need to control our sex. That's our problem. We don't
Do you know
control
what? The other
vaginas.
argument, I saw it in the chat. Somebody mentioned that basically a lot of guys don't want to get married to these women because these women don't know how to. They're not marriage material. They didn't grow up. They didn't grow up in a household.
I would tell you firsthand.
We don't know how to be married.
I got 2 kids. I've been with my so-called, whatever you call it, baby mother, single mother, whatever. We know what people want to say, y'all. For 8 years, it's been 4 years after that, and we haven't been together. It's not that I wasn't gonna marry her. I would have gave her all those things, but it's something in. I really hate to say it. It's black women. It's something in them where they think they're better than you. They think they so special where they can say what the hell they want to you, and they will disrespect you even if you're doing the right thing. I paid bills. I did all that. I've been in shape. I paid the bills. Hell, the kids on my insurance. I do all of that, and I live by myself. I got an apartment. You know what I mean? Like, and she still talk to me like she smarter than me when she's not. That is the problem. It's something in these women where they think they can check you and they better than you. And
because
really,
they don't know how to maintain relationship. They never grew up in it. Can I ask Zach? Did she grow up in a single parent household? Did she grow up?
Well, the mother and father was together, but they never was married. Then the father left the house when she was about 7, 8. From what I know of her background, so it's not like she came from nothing where they couldn't make it work. But you know.
Well, there you go.
So basically, you're saying is don't have sexual relationships with women who don't come from full intact
and black
families.
women need to get the hell in line, and black men are tired of reasoning with you. You're gonna do what you're told and build this community.
But I'm saying we're broken women,
whether you like it or not. Okay.
I'm saying, but we're broken women. We're not worthy of marriage, and so why are you having sex with us?
I wouldn't say worthy. I would just say maybe you guys need to be retrained, and you guys have to let certain things go.
So we need to go to a re-education camps to learn how to shut up. Is that what it is?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Because my thing
are you going to get those camps together? Are we going to meet in the church basement and sign up for them?
Oh, please. Wow. Now we're coming with extremes.
You're being anyway, GMT, thanks for the time, man. I'm going to leave you guys to the chat.
I'm simply going by your conversation. What's the solutions, fam?
Let me ask you this, Zach, because you said if BWs feel like they're better than you, or a particular BW feels like they're better than you and disrespects you, why are you involving yourself with that woman?
No, I mean it's not about involvement. Unfortunately, black men are realistic, and we're looking at the outcomes of the so-called black community. Even though black women have this myth that they stand up for the community, but we all know the real truth. The whole thing with me is most black men really deal with black women. They get in relationships, have girlfriends, children, and it's something in black women where she thinks she can say what the hell she wants to you, even though you can knock her through a fucking wall. But guess what? Oh, you got police to back you up. Domestic violence. I'm not here to promote beating women, but black women need to really check themselves and be humble. Seriously, this is a problem, and they don't think like that. That is sickening. That shit is not attractive. It's not smart, and they don't like that. They call guys like me aggressive, but if oh you hurt you, that's bullshit. Period.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question, because there was a second part to the debate. If single mothers have sons and their sons are performing poorly in school, out of the 3 parties or 4 parties involved via the school, the kid, the mother, and the father, who should get the blame?
The parent that has custody. Let's be realistic.
And why do you say that?
Because the children is in your care. You're not smart enough to think beyond your little selfish needs, which is most women. Let's be real. And if you're not like that, then you pretty much a fucking like you lost cause. And a lot of men realize that. They would never say it, but they realize that. Like me personally, my baby mother, I told her don't feed my kids pork. So she don't do it. It's been 5 years, she never did it since. Thank you. And guess what? It's a lot of things. I tell her to give my children vitamins and shit like that. I pick everything out. You know why? Because I don't want my kids being ignorant and black like the rest of you nothing ass black people who ain't about nothing. Period. You know what I mean?
What about you, Mrs. J?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that black women can do to improve the outcome of their children. You know, first and foremost, you know, pick the right father. You can also make sure that you have enough money to afford the child, that you don't have to work 2 and 3 jobs to make up for the missing income. You can also start at a younger age educating the children. You don't have to wait till they become 7 years old before you teach them how to read. You can start when they're 2. They have even all sorts of apps and channels on YouTube that will teach your children how to read. You just sit them down and you can, you know, do it. They can do it for you. So there are things we can work on. You know, I mean, the data is what the data is. Our children are way behind when it comes to education, and that's something that we need to take it. We need to take a handle on it. Period. So regardless of who's at fault, the result is the same. So we need to just go ahead and take control of it.
Yeah, but Ms. J, it's a flip side to that. Unfortunately, it's all about what the mother is interested in. And from black women, they are interested in media. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Most black women know goddamn well, teach your goddamn kids how to read right, teach them how to properly wash up, clean up, and have order. But, oh, you don't have leadership from a man. Because your children see you cuss man out. And black women do not want to admit it, but they have a problem talking too damn much. When you have a man, like I try to tell black women, when you got you a man who really respects you, he can have a conversation with you and he can really respect what you think, you need to follow suit. You need to fix that, like, you know what I mean? But that's not the point. Black women consume media at an 84% rate. That is a problem. That means you look on Facebook and Instagram before you even think about your life, which is most black women. They can't stay off their phone. That is a problem. Now you becoming artificial, like you're not even real. Now you acting like it's crazy when life is right in front of you, and that's the problem.
Okay. But I'm saying we have a lot of broken women out there, so if you're a man, Just avoid the women who are.
Let me ask you this,
Who they
Zach.
are.
Let me ask you this, Zach, because I almost agree with you, but let me ask you this. Tomorrow, you are the star point guard for your basketball team. The championship game is tomorrow. Championship game comes up. The star point guard is missing in action. He doesn't show up. The team loses the game because the mother, who's the two guard, now has to take over the point guard responsibilities. If we could get men to be the point guard of their families on a consistent basis instead of being absent, can that improve the performance of the team, or in this situation, the black boys who are failing in school?
Well, I agree with that, and in an ideal world, that would make sense. But unfortunately, most black men have been torn down, discouraged, treated like shit. Where, matter of fact, black men have been disrespecting and fucked over so much that black men are saying fuck you. They don't give a fuck at this point. And this is the atmosphere you created. Thank God you black men need to be more selfish. Because I'm like that. I'm more selfish. Guess what? I live by myself. I have 2 cars. I have money. I don't have a woman living in my motherfucking house, touching my bathrooms and nothing. You know why? Because I don't like being bothered unless she's a good, wholesome, genuine, virtuous woman. If she's not like that, I don't want to be bothered. I'd rather be single. Period. So you can't get mad at black men. You keep treating them like shit. Keep disrespecting us. Keep acting like you know every fucking thing and you God's greatest gift. That's bullshit. Keep doing that. You're gonna turn men off, and then your society gonna collapse. It's gonna be in calamity. Period. Let's be real. Like, let these women get what they want. Oh, you got it like that? You so single? You got it figured out? Wow. Good. Thank you. Yeah, keep living your life. Let's see how you turn out.
But
without a man.
But I gotta ask you this, Zach. You say black men are being disrespected and they're beaten down, but when they were going raw in that pussy and shooting up the club, they wasn't getting disrespected then, though.
Well, those are the lower level, low IQ black men who these women have had children by degenerate black men. They don't like it. Listen, I'm gonna tell you some stuff right now. Let me tell you some real shit. And I learned this. It sounds crazy, y'all, but it makes sense. Okay. The first thing I ask a black woman is their hair real? That offends them. The second thing I ask is, what was the last book you read? That offends them. Most black women, even the ones who college educated, seriously, this is a problem, especially when they wearing fake hair. It's something with them where they so brainwashed. They like lab rats to me. But I'm more intellectual to understand that most black men just think I'm keeping it real. I'm just being me. Little stupid, goofy nigga. You have no standards. But anyway, that's the problem. So a guy like me, black women hate my guts. It's been 5 years and most black women can't stand me. So I stopped dating them. I deal with them. I don't date them though. I don't be with them because they don't know how to respond to me, because I tell them in a minute. It's called cutlery. It's not called silverware. Little cheap ass black ignorant girl. What the fuck are you doing? A lot of shit that people been taught is not true. A lot of shit you've been taught is not real. Stop eating pork. Work out. Shut the hell up. Fuck BT. Why the hell all you black people know Tyler Perry movie? What the fuck is wrong with y'all? It makes me sick. I'm so sick and tired of black folks. You have no idea. Period.
But see, when black people, black women especially, when you just go ahead and have children with someone and you don't vet how they really feel about you, this is what you end up with.
Oh, but
so I don't understand why.
But am I worse than a nigga living on your couch? Am I worse than a man sleeping on your couch living off you?
Because to be tied forever with someone who feels that way about you is kind of bad. But I mean, she made that choice and now she has to live with it. I'm sure she's sick to her stomach. when she hears these comments. But again, that's why you have to vet people before you have children.
What about the guy who's still out your post, who's fucking broke? He has no job. He has nothing. Oh, you love his dirty drawers, right? You respond to him different, right?
I don't deal with guys like that.
No,
I'm saying I don't deal with guys like that, so I don't know where you're coming from
black
with
women.
that.
They would accept the less. They would accept the. They would accept the worst from less of us.
I mean, the data does show we do choose people who they could have their standards raised. I agree.
Well, good.
I'm agreeing with that. Anyway, I'm agreeing. We have children by people who we should not have had children with, and that's a problem. You cause a lot of issues in your life when you don't vet people. So you need to do that before you have children.
It's not about vetting.
Other than that, I don't think you're going to end up having a successful life. So
listen, it's not about vetting.
GMT, let me ask you a question real quick, brother.
You should have been vetted. You wouldn't have your issues.
That chick that just used fucking Gorilla Glue in her hair, she has 5 kids. Let me ask you a question. Everyone in here, an honest question. She has 5 kids. Do any of you expect any of her kids to become valedictorian?
Nope.
Do any of you expect any of that dumb bitch's kids to end up as valedictorian?
The bitch too stupid. She too stupid. And it's so pathetic. It's sad. It's really sad. Like, for real. And black women don't want to admit it that some of these, listen, the good black women have to form a group and check these little trifling ass lower level black chicks who ain't about nothing, but they not gonna do that because somewhere in these black women's subconscious mind, they like shit to get their juices from. They like little cute men and make them
it's not
high.
even about that.
And that's the truth.
It's not about that. The problem is people like
wow.
you like women like that, and you're gonna pursue women like that. You want us to do the work for you, and we're not gonna do that. I'm not spending my life checking somebody.
Over 70% of black children are born to single mother homes.
Somebody, a black man,
spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year on fucking hair, nails, clothes, and weed.
And you
how
still
much
date
money do these single mothers spend on books for their kids?
And you still date them.
How much money do these bitches spend on books for their kids?
Are you dating them? Do you date them? You date them.
No. Village Arson is right.
I'm trying to understand if these black single mothers out here so goddamn poor, how do they have so much money to spend on bullshit?
You should talk to Zach. He's the one that made a black single mother. Don't talk to me.
Listen.
You made a black single mother, honey.
No,
you did.
She wasn't gonna.
No.
She didn't want a husband. She didn't want a real man.
Okay.
She got
you also gave her a second baby.
Aggressive, and I was bitter.
Before you gave her the first baby, you should have married her first, but you didn't. So it's not up to me to check someone when you don't check that person. You need to check that person because you're having sex with the weave heads. You're having sex with the fake nails. You are. I'm not doing it. You are. You check it.
I can't speak.
Not up to me to check it.
But I know what the courts
she did wear weave. But she never had fake nails.
I can't speak for that. But I know what the courts can do. The courts help these women take these children from the fathers and refuse to let the fathers see their kids all the time. So I don't know his story.
Okay. They could.
Now, are you going to deny that these courts allow these women to do that bullshit all the time?
You're having sex with these women. You want to change it. You change the behavior. You're the leader.
Are you going to admit that these courts allow these women?
You're pursuing them. I don't put you in court. You're pursuing them. You pursue them. I didn't pursue them. You did. You check them. They're your women. You're having sex with them.
So we shouldn't fuck it off.
I ain't checking them. I know.
Exactly.
The Gorilla Glue chick got knocked up by black
courts.
So y'all need to look at it.
Any woman can abuse these courts and do that. Any woman.
I'm not in the courts, fam. I'm not in the courts.
You're going to get pregnant.
I have nothing to do with the courts. I'm not a judge. I'm not even one of those court stenographers. What are you talking to me about that?
No, you're going to get pregnant soon, and you're going to go through it, and you're going to see the reality.
Okay. But
I'm trying to get you to understand. A lot of women make themselves single mothers using these courts. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
And you need to talk to those women, because, again, you're having sex with them, not me.
Okay, well, no. I want to talk to the black women. 70% of our kids are being raised in single mother homes. And you guys want to pretend like it's all these black men just running away from their kids. That's not the issue.
I'm not one of those 75%. So why are you looking to me to change that issue?
hold on, but look, let me say this. Me and my so-called baby mother, because I don't like calling her that, but
Well,
I
that's what
mean,
she
we
is.
was together. Hold on, I'm just saying we was together. I've been there for my children. It's no problem. I got some. I'm okay. I'm not broke. Like, come on, like I've been around for my kids,
I'm
but
saying you're complaining about the fact that we're having children out of
I'm
wedlock
not
while you
complaining.
created children out of
I was
wedlock.
just pointing out.
Okay,
I'm not
but you're pointing out
complaining.
something you
I'm
did.
not
So
hurt.
why are you talking to me about it?
I'm not
Look in the
talking to
mirror.
you.
You did it.
I was just adding to the panel. I thought we were just having a discussion, but sorry about
Okay,
that.
but
I mean,
but this whole idea that a subgroup of black women need to come ahead and check women that you are pursuing that you're sleeping with, sorry, I mean that doesn't make any more sense
yeah,
to
you're
me
right.
looking to you guys to do that. I mean, no.
No, but I'm just saying you're right as far as being realistic. I'm just saying where are the good black women there who stand out and say, "Oh, you women are dirty and trifling. Y'all all act the same, and you try to cover up for the next trifling project ass chick who's twerking and shaking
We
her
can
ass
say the
and
same
doing the
thing.
same
Where are the
stuff."
good black
So
men
what?
to
That's
check
the truth.
the black
She's
men?
not
We
gonna
can
go out
also
here and
say
get
where's the
pregnant by
good
a
black
man that
Where
men?
your
tells her to
standards
stop
at?
spending all the money
Where
on
are
Everybody
they?
can
weave
Where
do
your
and pay
that.
on
standards?
books.
I'm just saying
Where your
everybody
standards?
can do that, but at the end of the day, you are
You're not
responsible
going
for
to get
your own
pregnant by the kind
genitalia,
of man
fam,
that tells you to
not
stop
me.
spending money on weave and bullshit and buy
Okay.
some books for my children. Y'all don't want to have kids with men like that because he will check your ass, bitch.
Thank you.
Why
It
are you
shows.
spending
Some
all
they
this
don't like
money
you.
on
Hold on,
weave?
bro. They call
Why are
you
you
man.
spending all this
They
money
call
on
you weird.
clothes and my child can barely fucking read?
Got shit. That's what
Okay,
they
and
like.
also, why aren't you going to the store and buying your own kids' children clothes?
Hold on,
I mean,
You don't
stores are
have
not
to
I
only
own
got
made
men
it,
for
like
bro.
women.
that.
Hold on,
Stores are only
I
made for
got it.
women. You can walk
Hold
into the
on,
store and buy your
relax.
children's
Hold
clothes,
on,
man.
relax. Hold on, relax, y'all. Unfortunately, black men does do that. No
Okay, then
things
why are you
to.
complaining? Your
No
children
one's
have clothes. Why are you
complaining. We're just
complaining?
pointing out the outcomes. It's time for
No, you
black
are
women to get
complaining.
checked,
I mean,
and they
come
need to
on,
be
fam.
in
Go to the
order.
store. If
Y'all,
you
y'all
buy
have
your
done
kids the
enough for black
tutors,
men.
sit down with them and teach them how to read. If
You
we're so
don't get
horrible,
pregnant by
then
a
you
man
need to
that
do
care
it.
about
Black
that
men
kind of
teach their
shit. That's
kids
the
that. Black
If
problem.
men
we're
get
so
their kids
horrible, then you
vegetables.
need to do
Come
it.
on, like let's be real. Like
Go
black
to the
men be in
courthouse
their
and take
kids'
your
lives.
children.
Man, please.
Record the baby
Stop
mom
with the
at
shenanigans.
the club
That's not
twerking it up
true.
and to get custody of your children.
Oh,
Get
wow,
custody of your
wow.
children,
Wow,
raise your
wow.
children, buy them the
Go to the white
clothes,
man court
get
for
them the
you. Go to
tutors.
the white man court for your hold on,
Yes,
for
go
your
to the white man
benefit.
court.
Are
Yes,
you
go to the white man
serious?
court.
You
Yes,
black women act like
go to
traitors.
the
We
white
should
man's
charge you with
court.
treason. You women
Go
have
to the
a
white man's
problem with
court.
listening. You're very rebellious, and that's a problem. I don't like that about black
Okay.
women. They are very disrespectful. Look how they
You
talk,
should
bro.
go to the
Look how
court
they
and get
respond to
your
us. Look what
children.
they're saying. Look what they say.
Why are you
Look what
having
they say,
your
y'all.
children raised by ratchet,
Because black men are
disrespectful
realistic.
women who
Black
don't teach your
men,
children?
nah, I
You're
wouldn't
leaving
say
your
that.
children in derelict custody. Why are you doing that when you're such great fathers?
No, the courts
wow.
allow
You're
these
great
women to
fathers. Why are
take
you
the
leaving little
children
horrible
from the
children?
fathers.
Your children
Tell
are
the
in
truth.
danger. Your children in danger, and you should get them custody of them. I'm just saying.
How is BGS responsible for what his grown ass daughter is doing? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Maybe because he didn't
They
raise her
are
when she
dumb.
was little.
How is he
He should raise her when
responsible
she was
for
little.
what
I
his
don't know.
No
adult?
thanks to
No, what?
society.
Did she
No
get
thanks
pregnant
to
as a
social
kid?
media.
Did she get pregnant while she was a
Maybe if he
minor
was
teen
in
or
the
something?
home, if he was in the
Wait. I
home with
got your
her
back, bro.
when she was during
Did she get
those
pregnant at 15 or
impressionable
16
years.
or something?
No,
I'm
hold
saying
on, y'all. Hold
if
on.
he was in the home with
Hold
her
on,
during
y'all.
those impressionable years, maybe she could avoid being statistically
Hold
Did
wrong.
she
on,
get pregnant while she was in his custody?
Hold on, wait. I got you. I got your back.
He
Check this out.
should have taught her better. I'm just
Hold
saying.
on, listen. Me and BGS talked before. My daughter is 6 years old. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give her standards. I'm gonna be the first man in her life to give her an example of a good man. I'm gonna give her all these standards. By the time she get 18 and 21, unfortunately, it's up. I mean, something is weird about these women because a lot of these little girls, they so naive and they so rebellious. You can't trust them. They lie a lot. I have a 6-year-old and I love my baby, but she's starting to talk like her damn mama, rolling her damn eyes and neck. I'm getting sick of that. I don't like that about them. It's something with black women and no one wants to say it. It's a black woman issue. I'm sorry. Black men have did their part. We have showed up. We have provided. You guys are screwing up and you don't want to admit it. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you still made children with someone who's substandard.
I'm trying
And
to
now apparently
understand how
she's
this
showing
man
her
is responsible for
substandardness.
what his adult daughter is doing, though. I'm still not
But I'm just
understanding how
saying,
that's
he said his
responsible.
6-year-old child is already showing signs of her
Okay,
less
well, I'm
than
talking about
standard
BGS.
behavior.
How is BGS responsible for what his adult daughter is doing?
I mean, but how is a single mom responsible when her adult son commits a crime?
How is a single mom responsible for what the kids in her care are doing? Are you?
No,
is you
the
answering that
adult men who are in jail right now are the single mom gets the blame.
Okay, well, stop getting pregnant by thugs. It's that simple.
Okay, well, maybe I'm just
Arsenal.
saying, maybe BGS's baby mama's a thought, and the mom is just following
not
what the baby
true.
mama did.
Perhaps.
He's a
If
good
he
black
chooses to
man
have
from
a
what
child
we
with a
know.
woman who was
How
failing
is
to
that
have a
his
child
fault,
out of wedlock, maybe the daughter would have continued the tradition. Maybe that's what I'm saying.
How long? That's not true because y'all have to take into
How is
account
it
that
not
women
true,
have the ability. No, listen,
Okay.
women have the ability to change their minds. Unfortunately, women cannot be trusted because they cannot make their mind up. They are confused.
So why are
as
you
a
having children with those type of
Because
women? Is what
men
I'm
are
saying.
realistic. Men love women. Most men love women.
Do you love sex or do you love women?
No, we love women. We love good women who really respond
So
us the
you
right
love a
way.
woman and you can look at your 6-year-old daughter and see she ain't gonna be shit. That's love.
No, she's gonna be something because I have some
You
resources
just said that
behind
she
me.
wasn't.
I
She's
have the
already showing
standards, but
signs she ain't shit.
It don't matter if she run her damn mouth like her mother, but I love my baby girl. That's my baby. Are you crazy? You don't
But
know
her
who
mom
you
is
fucking with.
crazy, and the daughter is showing the signs she's gonna be crazy too.
No,
But you
that
love
mean that the black woman example that my daughter is seeing need to
Well,
dumb it
why'd
down.
you have a child with someone like that? Is what I'm saying.
Because I mean, I was being realistic and I was being honest, and I was with her. I thought I can give her all these things, which proves that most black women will treat you like shit when you're honest to them.
No.
So keep going. What else you got?
Okay. I'm just saying. I'm trying to follow your
Miss
logic.
J
and I'm
is
not
telling us
quite
to go
getting
get
it.
white women. Miss J is telling us to go get white
I don't
women.
really want white
I mean,
women.
White
don't want white
women
women.
leave y'all faster than anybody else. But go ahead. Try.
I don't want white women out back. I don't. I don't.
White women aren't killing black babies like y'all are.
Show right. Show
Okay.
right. He right.
Right. You just
right.
Okay. That's
15 million black babies slaughtered by black bitches since the 1970s, and I can prove it.
Man, hold on. 1,400 abortions a day nationwide in America, nigga.
A
Wake
day. We're just out there just killing babies. That's right. We don't raise them well. We kill them. We take their clothes money. We tell their father they ain't shit, and
So you
still
bitches
y'all
are either
keep
getting
knocking
knocked
us
up
up.
by thugs,
And we get knocked up by thugs.
killing the
We
babies.
raise
That's what you're doing.
criminals. We raise criminals.
No, y'all don't
That's
raise
right.
criminals,
We do
but
all
some of
those
y'all
things.
do.
And still,
Yes, you
despite all
do.
that stuff, you still
Over
keep giving them babies
70% of our kids are being raised by single mothers, and it's a
by
statistical
single
fact
mothers.
that men
So
being
not
raised by
only are we
single mothers are
horrible,
significantly
not
more
only
likely
are
to
we
become
horrible,
criminals.
you leave the children with us who we're so
We don't
horrible.
need
you
the
take
children
the
to
children.
black. Hold on, wait. Let me clear this.
Okay.
Hold on, let me clear this myth up real quick.
You don't
Black men.
you don't
I can't
leave the
speak
kids
for
with
every
us.
man in America. I can't speak for every man in the community. I can't speak for every man in America. What I can say is this: most black men want order. A black man will get out of a situation if it's not healthy for him. Why would I argue with my baby mother and some chick who want to drag me to court and disrespect me? Hell yeah, I'm gonna move on. That don't mean I love my children. I'm gonna be there for my child. But hell yeah, I will get the hell on. You act like men have no life, and that is the problem with you women.
I'm simply repeating what you're
we
saying.
have a reason to move on, and all that.
I'm simply repeating what you're saying. That's all. I'm repeating what you're saying. That's all.
Oh, y'all leaving the kid? No,
that's
not.
what we should do.
She should be mature and responsible enough to have class, and she should have standards as a woman. Since she don't have it, now she's gonna blame me. That's bull crap. Like, come on, that's bull.
Okay, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, we're this horrible, and yet you still keep knocking them up.
This horrible.
And then you leave the children with the women who are that horrible, and you're telling me this makes sense.
Listen,
it doesn't make that. Okay,
I will tell you the greatest
I'm just
truth
going by.
know.
I'm just going by what you're saying.
I'm gonna tell you the greatest truth you need to know.
Okay.
I'm not here to be bitter and hate black women because I don't. But what I will say is this:
you love
black children, the black men, the black elders realize that the black woman is a problem For one, black women talk too much and they say the wrong shit. They don't know how to respond to the right stuff. They say the wrong shit. And
Do you
hear
know
a
what was
black man
trending
around
today
you.
on Twitter? Do you guys know what was trending today on Twitter? Give white men a chance. That's what black bitches were making trend on Twitter. These bitches are the enemy. So
But I mean,
don't
you
agree
told us
with
to
that.
choose better. So I mean, come on. Why are you mad?
Black bitches are the fucking
White man
enemy.
ain't no
You
better.
modern
But
black
how are you
women,
mad when you're
you are
telling people to choose
little
better?
dick ass white boy can't handle you, and you're mad about it, but yet y'all.
But we're
man,
not
white
supposed
man
to look
so
at
much.
looks. We're not supposed to look at penis or sex. We're supposed to look at
when
their
was the
character,
last
what they
time? When
can
was the
do.
last
I
time
mean,
black men made give white women a chance trend on Twitter though?
Thank you.
No, okay.
Can I? Never.
But
okay.
When was the last time someone SYSBM has did a video on YouTube talking about how their Stargates are so much better than the black bitches?
Well,
Probably
then
5
why are
minutes
they
ago.
having sex with black women?
YouTube all the
Mad
time
bus driver
has
doesn't
those
speak for all of
videos.
us. I'm
YouTube has those videos all the time about how so much better Asian women are, Hispanic women are, white women are.
I mean,
but all of a sudden, you want to go by what's trending on Twitter.
Statistically, when mixed black children are raised by non-black women, they are significantly more likely to be successful.
Then why aren't you having children with those women? So there's
But
so
that
much
ain't the
significantly
point.
better. Why do you keep having children with? Well, I'm asking a question. Why are you doing it? Come on.
Let me
Okay.
say something.
You can solve the issue. Take your penis to another group of women and have better children that way, y'all.
I
Come
agree
on.
with that to a certain extent.
You have
but
the
my
answer.
thing-
You have the answer. It's inside your ball sack, y'all. You can save the black
no,
race.
it's not about sex. It's not about sex.
It's not
the whole thing. The whole thing with me is what is wrong with black women where you can't be checked and get brought back down to earth and be in order? What is wrong
That will
with
never
y'all?
happen. That will never happen. That will never fucking happen, dude. And you know.
Okay, I'm glad you told me, brother. You right.
You're right. It's never gonna happen.
You will never get these black women to admit that they're wrong. You will never get them to admit
I'm
that
admitting that we're wrong.
They so
I
proud
admit that
too.
we're
Look how they
wrong.
talk, bro.
I admit we're wrong. I admit we're wrong all the time. We do choose wrong.
You guys are not wrong. You guys are not Eve. And you're
Save
very
yourself. No one else
disrespectful.
will
You don't
save
have
you.
to be. You can
No
be
one
cool.
else will
You can
save
be-
you. You have to save yourself. I agree. Save yourself.
Well, I'm self-proclaimed SYSBM. My mother and sister had an attitude at me because I'm dating a chick from Venezuela. Okay. And dating means we're having sex. So, oh, you better not bring kids in. Really? It doesn't matter. My black mother and my black sister have a problem with me being with this chick. She's from another country. Okay? And we just have conversation and we spend time. I go to her house. She come to my apartment and it's cool. And black women have a problem with that. Seriously.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Zach,
That's the issue.
because you spoke against people having kids out of wedlock with your new boo thing, your new Venezuelan chick. Are you gonna marry her before you give her a kid?
Well, the thing with me is, unfortunately, I gave up on the whole idea of marriage in America because, from my perspective, America is indeed a corporation, not a country. It's definitely not a republic. And a lot of people believe laws and all this other shit, protesting. Y'all getting laughed at. Don't believe it. This country is a fucking corporation you living in.
So,
period.
So let me go ahead.
So to me, I believe in polyamorous. I believe in poly.
Yes.
I believe in having 2 to 4 women that I genuinely have conversations and connect with, and all of them share me, and we all have an understanding. That don't mean I'm a dog. I don't dog women out, but it's enough for me to go around. You know.
And this is what black women should ultimately get on board with, y'all. That's what we should get involved with. We're not worthy of marriage. We're not worthy of marriage. We should all get around and share some dick in an apartment. That's all that we should do. That will solve the problem in the black community. Sharing community penis and an apartment.
Ms. J, I'm
One
not
day
saying
we
that.
can live
I'm
in an
saying for
apartment. The other
me.
6 days we're gonna
I
find
didn't say
somebody
for
else.
everybody else. I didn't say for everybody else. I was saying for me.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I'm not sharing no pussy I'm committed
gonna
to.
solve the problem,
If I'm taking care of and committed to some pussy, I ain't sharing it. Now, if we just fucking, whatever, but that's just me.
Okay. That's gonna solve it. I'm just saying. That's it.
All right.
And you need to get you a real man that really wants you. And you want to act
a
like
real
you
man
don't want
who
a
wants
man.
to, who I get to share a penis with 4 different men.
Oh, Miss J,
that's gonna
like,
solve my problem.
You want you a real man, and yet you're holding back. That's your problem.
Already, though. Come on, black women already
sharing community penis is real men. Only real men do that. That's what real men do.
Well,
I'm not saying for all
ring on the
men.
finger.
What happened in Memphis?
Sharing the community dick.
It was like 3 baby daddies and like 50 baby mamas and like 80 kids.
No, 3 baby. Hold on, wait.
That's what the black community needs more.
Hold on, 3 baby daddies accounted for 80 babies in Memphis.
That's the behavior that black women
Get the fuck out of here. They like the worst of us.
That's what we should have. We're following the great example, y'all. We share an apartment and
don't like guys like that. You like the
why can't we just admit that? And women like a creamy finish. Why can't we just admit that?
You black women will go out here and get pregnant by a nigga that you know already had 4 goddamn baby mamas and you know it. You will go out here and get knocked up by a nigga that you know already had 4 kids and take care of.
Because you find him appealing and you think he's cute. Which is not theory. A lot of you black women fuck niggas that y'all think cute.
Okay. But I'm just saying, I'm simply repeating you guys' logic. I'm repeating what you guys are saying, and you're mad at me because you're not making sense.
None
of what you're saying makes sense.
And black bitches were still getting knocked up by.
Right.
Sure would. Hey, hold on, wait. Y'all forgot about the one. Hold on, wait. We gonna step it up a notch too. Hold on, no, not you personally. I don't know your business. What I will say is this: we're gonna step it up a notch. We had stories last year of 2 correctional officers, black women, getting pregnant by 6 inmates. God damn! Come on, chill out. Come on now. What you gonna say?
That shit happens all the goddamn time.
You're never gonna run out of this.
But you tell her all the time. And that just show you that black women don't
have an uncle in prison.
They don't fuck with the smart dudes. They don't like the smart men. They don't.
They like raw penis. They like raw penis.
That's what we do.
How you doing?
Get knocked up by the felons.
No,
raise felons.
Not y'all.
Like we're making it up. This is. You can look it up.
I'm not saying you're making it. I'm simply repeating what you're saying. That's what we do, and that's why I say we need to do better. Because apparently, yes, we are having
knocked up by scientists and lawyers and doctors.
There's only 3 of you, so it's kind of hard for that to happen. I mean, let's be real. The graduation rates say there's not too many scientists were growing, but okay.
Zach, I want to ask you something. How old is your kids?
I got a 6 and 4-year-old. I got the little baby.
When the last time you went to your board education meeting concerning your kids?
Education meeting?
Yes.
I would say like a year ago. And it wasn't even it was like a committee of people, and we had that was last year. And that was a township meeting we had. I'm in the suburbs.
Okay, what is in your kids' library? The books. What kind of books they have?
It's a variety of books.
What's the first book you give your child?
Wait. I would even argue that it's somewhat similar books that I even seen when I was young. Standard.
Okay, what is the first book you give your child? I want to ask you that.
Hold on, what is the first book I give my child?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I already bought my kids puzzle books, word books, math books, pluses, minuses, and multiplication, and all that. And I read to my kids. I got flashcards. I've personally done this. I taught my kids how to read and ride a bike.
How old was your child when you gave them the first book? And what was
my
book?
daughter. Hold on, wait. My daughter, younger, when she was like 3, and that was.
What was the first book?
It's not even just a book. You expecting a 3-year-old to read a book? I'm just saying.
You know why I'm asking you that? Because my grandson's 4 years old. He started reading that too. The first book you would give
my son started reading that too. My son started walking that before one. What are we talking about? I'm just saying.
Anybody into their kids' education, no. Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, ABC would be one of the first books you would give your child. That's why I'm asking you questions.
But that's America.
Okay, wait,
though.
hold on.
That's English.
And
What
then
about
the
teaching your kids another language? What you know about that? I'm just saying. What you know about that?
Hold on. And then the second book, we know The Cat in the Hat, that whole series, whatever. That's why I'm asking you these questions. It's going back to the father.
I don't believe in that corny shit.
Your
I don't believe
child's
in it.
6 years old. Is she bilingual?
But no, she's not.
Is your child bilingual? Your child should be bilingual by the time she's 5.
How the hell should she be that?
Cause you supposed to be teaching my grandson.
So now you're gonna tell me to teach my children. Look at the arrogance of black women.
It doesn't matter. The parents is the child first teacher. You sitting up here bashing females, but you got to
what the hell are you doing? Sheila, I love you now. I love you, Sheila.
No, Zach, you sitting up here all the time bashing black women, but you talking about you don't mess with black women, but you was on CUDA panel when that woman threw you out the car. So don't, like I told you, Zach, you sitting up here with 2 kids and you don't know your kids' first book you gave them?
Oh, wow. Now you're going to use that typical...
disliking black women behavior. Y'all sitting up here messing with everything in sight.
Not that.
And you sitting up there telling you got another woman and you can't be a father of your kids and make sure your kids going to have competition.
Oh, I love my kids.
When 6 years old, your child should be bilingual? And you worry about going on to the next woman, save yourself black
because you have this. Listen, you've been taught that because you have this.
For yourself. Talking about a woman.
Oh, wow.
Be in your kid's life. No,
you got it, Sheila. You got it. You got it.
You got it. Double team Miss J.
Y'all ain't gonna do that. That's what I'm trying to. What does that do with BGS? Y'all sitting up here talking about the black woman this and the black woman this. Y'all sitting up there got all this smoke for these women. Once y'all get to smoke for the laws and these policies, then getting against these black men. You vote Democrat. Y'all don't vote.
I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat.
You do not cooperate with us politically. Black women do not cooperate with black men politically.
Let me tell you, son, I advocate for you. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't
black
know
women
me.
And black men vote the same. What are y'all talking about?
That's not true. That's not.
That
true.
is true.
You don't know what I do.
You look at all the data. Black men and black women vote the same.
Donald Trump got 20% of the black male vote.
I set up laws, New York City,
Trump got 20% of the black male vote.
Black male. So don't tell me.
All
the majority of black people vote the same. Why are y'all?
Egos and you go straight to the polls and vote Democrat.
Don't put crimes against black males. So y'all sit up here with all this smoke on YouTube. Won't y'all sit up there and get a relationship with y'all police department and politicians so they could stop those laws against some of y'all? Won't you do that?
Or join the police department. I mean, they're hiring.
Right. Y'all got all this smoke on social media, and any day is this setting up traps and stuff for y'all. Won't y'all put that energy and change the laws? And you, Zach, won't you go to your county court and come up with a proposal? I'll give you a copy of mine. So
hold on, wait.
What about that?
Wait, Sheila. Let me tell you something.
I agree with all this foolishness. I'm not gonna sit up here and let y'all chat.
You're talking a lot of shenanigans. Come on now.
And I can back it up.
Let's be adults. Let's be adults. And this proves on this space, on these platforms, what type of black people we dealing with. I get what you're saying.
Because I'm tired of mess. Y'all sitting up here attacking this woman. She had no kids.
She can handle it. She's a grown woman. She knows what she's doing.
It ain't what you say, it's how you say it. Y'all don't have to disrespect her like that.
Who are you to try to come in and check black men?
Because I could do that. I'm my brother and sister.
Your disrespect and rebellion and your arrogance to talk to black men like that, that is a problem. That is very unattractive. You don't know me. You don't tell me a goddamn thing. Guess what?
You know what, Zach? You need to be quiet.
You don't even know me. You don't even know who you're messing with. I don't like that about black
people. If we follow Zach's advice,
you don't have enough guts
if we follow Zach's advice, the out of wedlock birth rate will skyrocket. If we followed your advice, the black out of birth rate would skyrocket.
Right.
That's already pretty high. Isn't it like over 75?
I'm just saying, but if we followed it, it would be even worse. So how are you solving the problem?
Hold on, Sheila. You cool.
How are you solving the problem?
The nerve of you, Sheila.
I'm jumping down. Y'all been
You don't tell me nothing about my children. That is the most disrespectful,
No,
unattractive
it's not.
stuff
I'm
that
asking you
black
what kind of bitch
women
you
do
ever.
to black
I'm
men.
telling
We
you,
ain't gonna
your
listen to you
kid, your
after that.
baby's
Who are
young.
you? Guess
Your
what?
baby
You ain't
young.
no
I'm just
Michelle
saying,
Obama.
your baby
You
young.
can't
It's
compete. You
competition
don't
out
know
here.
enough. You can talk all that shit all you want. It's cool. It's
I
cute.
don't talk it.
Whatever.
I don't just
Chill
talk it.
out.
I walk it. I
Stay in
live
your
it.
place. Have respect. Have some
I am
class.
having
And you
respect for you.
don't
I'm
like that
telling you
because you're a
that
black woman.
as a older woman,
I don't
mature
like
woman
that.
to a younger
You ain't
guy,
gonna tell
be
me
to your
nothing.
kids. Don't worry about another
My
relationship.
kids is okay. Why are you mentioning my children? We are all adults.
I
I'm not
want to
gonna
ask
attack
you
their
that because
children.
you said you got
My
young
kids
babies.
ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just making a point. You shouldn't even stoop that low. You're so
What does any of this have to do with BGS not controlling his grown ass daughter's decisions, though?
Excuse me.
What does any of this have to do with BGS not controlling his grown ass daughter and her decisions? I'm not
I'm not
understanding.
coming up here concerning that. I'm talking as that. I'm not anticipating in that.
Okay, because BGS is being slandered because he's supposed to be able to control his grown ass daughter and her decisions.
No, his daughter getting a hold of smelling herself, and she's arrogant, thinking she know more than what her father told her, which goes back to what black man says be right.
She did the exact same thing her father did. She's following the father's.
Stop using excuses. Stop blaming black men.
She followed the same thing that her father did. That's a family tradition. Having kids out of wedlock. Come on, fam.
She probably still a good young woman. But I'm saying BGS might have did the best he can, and she's still a young woman who thinks she know every goddamn thing like black women.
She followed what he did, not what he said.
Doesn't mean you're not taking
She
care of
followed
won't
the
let it go.
example.
You won't let it go. Look how they
She
talk.
followed
They
the
won't let it go,
Wedlock
bro.
doesn't mean you're not taking care of your kids. Not everybody wants to sign some bullshit business contract. I'm against marriage too. I don't believe in signing any contract with the government when it comes to relationships. That's bullshit. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're taking care of your kids. So stop. Out of wedlock mean that's irrelevant. What did he abandon his children? Did his daughter come out and say he never raised her?
So you're blaming the daughter for doing the exact same thing the
blaming
father
an
did, but
adult
somehow
for
she's
making
wrong
her own decision.
and he's
I'm
right.
blaming an adult for making her decisions. Yes, is she supposed to monitor her pussy 24/7?
She
as an
did the
adult?
same thing he did.
No,
So
he
they're
didn't.
both the same. So what's
He
the
gave her
issue?
standards.
She's the same as him. What's the difference?
No, he gave her standards, Miss J. And she got older.
She followed his standard.
No,
She
that's not true.
followed his standard. Why are you mad?
I can't speak for that man. I can't speak for him. What I can say is
I'm saying
realistic.
she followed his standard. Why are you mad?
Yeah, but maybe he was a genuine guy who tried to be there for his daughter, and she got older and made her own decision. You can't take that away from her. Let's be real. Like, stop trying to count everything on black men. That's not true. Some black men be in their kids' life, period, and do everything right. It don't matter.
And nobody said he wasn't in her life. Nobody said he wasn't in her life.
Okay,
then
so
we were talking about was out of wedlock birth rate.
Whoa. So you have to be married to be able to take care of your kids? You just fucked yourself up.
The issue was out of wedlock birth rate.
What does that have to do with being able to take care of your kids, dude? Out of wedlock has nothing to do with whether or not you're an active parent.
Okay, then why are you talking shit about black women having kids out of wedlock? If the issue
It's not about out of wedlock. It's about having kids with a man that wants to stick around and help you raise the kids.
He didn't stick around though. They broke up. He was not raising the child in the home.
That doesn't mean he wasn't an active parent. That doesn't mean he was not an active parent. That's bullshit.
Okay.
You don't have to
her
stay with the
child
mom to be
has
an
an
active
active
parent,
father.
and you know that.
Her child has an active father. Going by what BGS says, the father of her child is active in the baby's life. Again, she followed the standard. They are the same.
You don't want to give her commitment because you know what?
And
I'm gonna tell you why. You know why? Because
she followed the family standard.
Then what's the criticism? What's the criticism?
Older.
I don't know what the criticism is. I'm just saying. Somehow she's the thought, and she did the same thing he did.
If the father is around, then how is she a single mom?
Yeah,
out of wedlock birth rate.
He got a point with that.
Again, out of wedlock birth rate, the father not being in the home with the child.
Dude, single mother means you're the only one there taking care of the kid. That's what single mother means.
That's not what the CDC says.
BGS said the
CDC says at all.
The dude wanted to form a family, and she turned him down. So they're where they're at for that shit. So it's not like
the CDC does not say that's a single parents are like that.
When we're
Single
talking
parents
about
means you are
kids,
unmarried.
we're talking about
Out of
kids graduating
wedlock,
with
single
low
parents
reading
means you're
scores
not
and
married,
shit.
you're not living in the home.
Marriage has
You're
nothing to do with that.
Okay.
No,
but I'm just saying you're hollering about what the CDC says. That's a stat everybody keeps throwing in the face. 75% of black children are raised by single parents. Okay.
Yes, single mother homes, meaning they're being raised by one parent.
That's not what it says. That's not
that
what the
is
CDC
what it says because you don't want a man in the house to
that's
tell
not
you
what
to
the
shut
stat
your
comes from,
goddamn
y'all.
mouth.
You're
Listen,
trying to change the meaning of stuff, and it doesn't mean
no. Let's be honest.
75% stat simply means at the time the child came out of their mother's womb was the mother married to the father. That's what it means.
Okay, status.
That's what it means.
Okay, right at that moment. Okay, I go with that. But let's say this: a lot of you women are single after you have children because you don't want to hear that certain men have standards and they would tell you to shut the hell up and do what the hell I tell you and get in there and cook this food and take care of my children. You don't like that. You call it aggressive.
Okay, so I'm just saying have the standards before you knock the woman up.
I've been
have the standard before you meet your standard. Before you have the child.
I've been had standards.
I'm just saying, shit.
No, I've been had standards, but you're so naive and immature and you're so like delusional and you don't want to admit it. That is the truth, y'all.
Negro, you still gave her 2 children. You still gave her 2 children. I mean, that's okay.
Hold on. Wait. I was given true partnership, true companionship, true just being honest. Men are honest. Men are not phony like women. Women screw you just because you have a better car and you have a man.
So did you offer your baby mama marriage? Did you offer your baby mama marriage? Did you offer your baby mama a marriage after you had the 2 kids?
I did, but I started running into certain things that I think of my standard, which I told her about that she couldn't shake, which is this. I don't believe in Santa Claus, and if you with me and have my children, you're not. I don't eat pork, and if you with me, you're not. I work out 3 times a week, and if you're with me, you're going to. I don't do this, and she hated me for it. That is black women, y'all. They don't want to listen to you, nigga. You got real solutions and standards. She thinks she better than you.
So you're saying you wanted to marry your baby mama and she turned you down, or she didn't want to do it?
She didn't turn me down. She didn't really keep up with my standard and qualities of a certain type of quality of women that I would deal with. So I left. I slept in my car, and then I bought a room for 2 weeks, and then I ended up getting an apartment. It took me like 3 weeks, damn that month, and I was done. I would never touch her again. You see, I got real pride, real masculine.
Well, there you go.
I'm not understanding what being married has to do with these kids.
Thank you. Thank you. When you tell them, bro, get them back on, please. It's about respect.
You guys keep mixing this bullshit piece of paper with parents being active in the kids' lives. These single moms out here, 70% of these kids out here being raised by these single mothers. The fathers aren't around, period.
Technically, the best situation is forming the home and having both parents in the home. That's kind of like the standard.
Let me ask you this question, Village Arson. Let me ask you this question, Village.
I just don't understand why you throwing up a stat, then you turn around and say the marriage doesn't matter. That's where the whole stat comes from.
Because you're not going to get commitment because some white man say come to my court and come to my city hall and get commitment.
Of the single mothers comes from the government statistics, fam.
Oh, that's where it comes from. Government. Oh, wow. Oh,
that's where the stats come from. The CDC looks at the birth certificate. They also look at the marriage certificate. If you're going to throw that stat up in someone's face, you can't say you're not going to have one and then complain about the other. That doesn't make sense.
No one's complaining. I agree with that, but
you are complaining about it. You keep mentioning it.
Oh wow, I'm complaining. I'm so hurt. I'm so bitter. Oh wow.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Village, because you said who's to blame for BGS Ibmor being his daughter being a single daughter. I would put the blame on the daughter. However, in this space, BWs get blamed when their adult sons commit crimes. Why is it different with mating choices with women when it's in pertaining to the father, single fathers, but not the same when it comes to single mothers when their adult sons commit crime?
The women have all the power over the kids in this society, GMT. You know that's true.
No,
As far as I understand it,
but I'm saying
fathers have no rights.
custody of his
Fathers have
kids.
no rights in this country, dude. We have no rights in this country. Well, not we. I don't have any kids, but you know, fathers have no rights in this country.
But that's,
women have all the power
split
when it comes
custody.
to kids in this country.
But that still doesn't answer the question. If their sons who are adults go out and commit a crime, why does that look? Why is that a
Nine
strike
times out of
against
10, she either had kids with a nigga that she knew wasn't shit, or she used the system to keep the kids away from the father.
Mm-hmm.
But you know this, and you haven't experienced it. But you know what 90% happens to 90% of kids and their fathers.
Man, this is. I mean, this is coming from other people's experiences. This is quantifiable.
90%.
Courts. Okay. I mean, this is quantifiable.
90%.
Most of the time, the courts rule in favor of the women when it comes to custody. I mean, this is known.
Most, especially with black families, most families don't even end up in court. Most black families do not go to family court.
That's a damn lie.
That
black women stay having black men all up in the courts of child support, putting men that aren't even the dad on child support.
The vast majority of black men who end up owing child support do not owe child support because of the family courts. They owe child support because the mother went to the government to get TANF help. And then the government went after the father that way. They don't go to family court.
She went to the courts. That would be the government, man. That would be the government,
she did
man.
not go to the courts.
Would
she
be
went
the
to the
government,
welfare
man.
office.
So the courts aren't the government?
She went to the welfare office to get money for
She
the
had to go to the
child.
courts first,
Look
man.
it
She had to
up,
go to the
man.
courts first to get a
Look it
judgment.
up. Look it up. Y'all just repeat stuff. You don't
So
even
the
know what
courts
you're
aren't
talking
government.
about.
So these family courts aren't government. That's what you're saying? Okay.
That's not family court. That's welfare. Because the father.
So you're saying the family courts aren't government. That's what you're saying?
No, they're not the courts.
It's not even
family court is family court.
Family courts are kind of outside the normal judicial system.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
The
I
court
mean,
decides who has custody. And if you have custody, then
the
you can go
welfare
on
office does not decide custody. Welfare office does not decide custody. You already have the kid.
The court decides custody,
and you're not
and then
going to
whoever
court
has
to...
custody puts the other person on child
That's
support.
not what
so the courts decide who pays child support.
That's not what happens.
That is exactly what the fuck happens.
That is not what happens. And again, you're not a father. You don't even know what you're talking about. You haven't been through it. You're listening to some bitter people who tell you some stuff. And again, the government tracks this. We're not going by your word. The government tracks this.
Isn't it most of the time when the mother goes for public assistance, they ask who the father is?
Yes.
That's what. And
then TANF, and that's why there's so basically what happened was for so many reasons the black woman decided I'm not even gonna put the father down, and they were getting all this money. The government kept coming out with all these dollars, and they couldn't go after the father. So the welfare office said, you know what? You have to put a father down because we're going to go and get this money somehow. And that's why lately you've been having these issues where the fathers are going to be they're being back charged. The vast majority of black women do not go to family court.
They're going for public assistance.
Who decides custody? Who decides custody?
They already have custody.
She's saying the mom already has custody when she's filing for public assistance. So she already has full custody.
The father left the home. And they left the kids behind with the mom.
Father left the home.
For whatever reason.
Yes, for whatever reason. He was kicked out. He walked away. He couldn't stand her ass. Whatever the reason. The father's out of the home. The children are with
the mom. She didn't go to the club and get knocked up by some nigga she barely knows.
That's not what happened. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened to him. The issue is he's not living with the child and the mom. That's all I'm talking about.
The father can be fully present. The minute she goes for public assistance, they're gonna ask who the father is, and then they're gonna refer to the courts.
Yeah, most of these nasty bitches don't even know who the fucking father is. That's why they can't put a name down.
They don't know. Obviously, no one's getting named. No one's getting named then. I mean, what's the problem?
No, shout out to Maury Povich. Shout out to Maury Povich.
No,
Shout
they,
out
they
to
make,
Maury Povich.
don't they make them put down a father on the birth certificate? Is it a law mandatory
You
in
don't
some
have to
states?
put someone down the birth certificate. It has to be down when you go down to the welfare office. You have to say
Oh,
who you
you
think
gotta
the father is. But the
you
birth
gotta name
certificate, you ain't got to
somebody.
put nobody down there.
Okay, so that's how it happens. So like, this happens when the women go for the assistance for whatever reason.
Right. The vast majority of black women do not go to family court. Period.
I don't know where you're getting that from. You're just pulling that out of your ass. But okay.
That's what the government data shows, fam. That's
And you
what it
post a link
shows.
to that? And you post a link to what you just
You
said?
can
'Cause
Google
I've
it and
never.
find out yourself. No one's trying to
Okay, I'm
hand
not
feed you
gonna
stuff.
Google your facts for you. I'm not gonna Google your
Okay,
facts.
then don't. You don't have to. The stuff is out there. Not my fault. Y'all niggas don't read. I mean, shit.
Again, I'm not understanding how BGS is to blame for what his adult daughter is doing.
I didn't say he was to
And we
blame.
have no proof that this man wasn't in her life. Just because he wasn't
Nobody
married
said
to
he
the
wasn't
mom
in
does
her
not
life.
mean he wasn't an active
We did
parent.
not say he wasn't in her life.
Okay, then so how is he to blame for what his adult daughter is doing?
Okay, that's.
When we talk about what these men are out here doing because of these single moms, we're blaming the mothers because we acknowledge the fact that the vast majority of the time when the father is not around, it's the mother's fault. This is reality.
Okay.
Because the women have all the fucking power in this country. We're not going to sit here and pretend like black men are just abandoning their kids and drugs. That same CDC that you keep bringing up, by the way, also says that black men are the most active fathers. It's the same CDC.
I'm saying you're the most active fathers, but you don't live in the homes. Your children can't read. Your children don't have clothes to wear. Your children were raised by ratchet-ass women who are disrespectful, can't stand you, and raise criminals, but yet you leave the children behind with these unworthy women.
The vast
and you're the best
majority
father.
of black men that
And
have
you're the best
children
father.
are active fathers. We're talking about a small percentage of black men that are
How
doing
that makes sense, I don't know. Your
This is
children
a
have
small
horrible
percentage of-
outcomes, but you
50%
are
of
the
black
best
men
father.
don't even have
All right.
kids. That's right off
All
the
right,
bat.
okay. But then
But
you're
you
not
can-
the
50%
best
of black
fathers if
men
you
are
don't
not
have
part of
children.
this problem at all.
You have
can
to have
still be-
children to be a father.
You
The
can be an
children,
active
people who
father.
don't have children are not fathers. They're not part of the conversation.
You can be an active father and still be
So
put
that
on
means
child
we're
how
support.
can
talking
you
about
be
a
a father
small
when you don't have
percentage of
children?
black men that are not active fathers.
Okay, again, you're these great fathers, but your children have all these shitty outcomes. Please explain how that makes sense. I
Not
agree,
all
black
black
women
kids.
are horrible mothers, but you are the best fathers who leave your children
Yes,
behind
the
with horrible
children
ass
that are
women
raised by
who have
single
horrible
mothers and
outcomes,
only
but
the
you are the
women,
best
yes.
fathers. All right. All right. That makes a lot of
The
sense.
vast majority of black men that are incarcerated right now were raised by who?
Okay. And
Who are
who's
they
the
raised
father
by?
of those incarcerated children? How are you the best if your children are
The
incarcerated?
thug-ass
Your
niggas that
children
the
can't
moms
read.
got pregnant by.
Okay. You're the best fathers,
That small
but your
percentage
children
of
in
shitty
jail.
black men, that
You're the best
small
fathers,
percentage of
but your children have
thug-ass, ain't
horrible
shit black
education.
men that
All
black
right.
women
That
seem
makes
to love.
sense. Right.
By the
That
way,
makes
when we're
sense.
talking about black fathers being active, we're not just talking about black women. Black men have kids
Okay.
with other races of women too.
Wait. Okay.
Right.
So
right. Okay.
wait.
That makes sense.
So
that makes sense.
So over 50% of black men don't have kids, and another 30% are actually in marriages. We're talking about a 20%, like 2 out of 10 black men we're talking about. They're having all these problems, having kids out of wedlock.
Those are the kind of niggas that black women like.
Right.
So we're still talking about a small percentage.
Okay. So all these black kids are running around related to each other, right? We're all cousins.
That could be.
Right?
I mean,
So
black women do,
all these
black women do
millennials and
tend to
Gen
fuck the
Zs.
same niggas. I mean, like I said, I mentioned that dude
so
out
all
there
the
in
millennials
Memphis.
and Gen Zs
I
right now
mentioned the
who are
guy out
dating,
there in Memphis
they're
with
all with
goddamn 20
cousins
baby
because we're all
mamas.
related. That makes sense.
Well, if you're going by the
We're all
numbers, we're
cousins
talking
now,
about 20%.
fam.
If we're saying
20%
30% are
making
married,
100% of the kids. Okay.
no,
Okay.
we're saying 30% are married, 50% don't have kids. So we got a 20% statistical slice of men who are having all these kids out of wedlock.
Right.
So I don't know. This sounds like a minority to me. That's
right.
producing.
It's the minority. It's the minority. That's it. Y'all are great fathers. Only a small percentage are horrible fathers, and we keep choosing those men, and that's what I'm saying. It is on us. We need to take responsibility.
So we're counting the men who are also married are part of this discussion too. the 30% or whatever of black men who are married, they're also part of the discussion of horrible dads who don't take care of the kids.
Apparently.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the numbers in focus here. We're talking 2 out of 10 black men.
Right. So I'm saying we're all cousins. So all these Gen Zs, all these millennial people, because none started in the 80s. No, I forgot. We started in the 60s because that's when we accepted welfare. So
bottom line, BGS Ibmor is not responsible for the actions of his adult daughter.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
I mean, his adult daughter followed the example of her adult father. So again, I mean, why are we having this conversation when apparently that's just the black culture?
If his daughter is a single mom getting knocked up by thug ass ain't shit niggas that aren't around, then no, she did not. But you just said, I'm not too privy on the situation. You just said that the father's involved, so I'm not understanding what's going on.
I'm just saying, why is the daughter
is his daughter out here getting knocked up by thugs and they're running off, or is that what you're saying?
No, she didn't. She didn't.
Okay, then so what? I'm not understanding. Just because BGS wasn't married to the woman he got impregnated, how was that a criticism? Some men don't believe in marriage. That doesn't mean you're not an active parent because you're not married to the woman.
Yeah. He was an active parent, but I guess she's just saying that she didn't come from an intact, like, 2-parent home where both parents were in the house. I guess that's what she's trying to say.
Yeah, if BGS Ibmor says the fall of the black community is due to a lack of intact families and his daughter is not in an intact family.
Well, we don't know the situation. Maybe the mother of the kids was not marriage material. How do we know?
Well, that's what he said. So, but I'm just saying he didn't live in the home with his baby mama. Like he says he had to drive.
Maybe that was best for the child. Do you niggas?
Maybe it was.
What if they're fighting every day and they don't get along? You prefer him to stay in the house and raise hell around the kids? I mean, maybe that's better for the child.
He said it, that she didn't grow up in an intact 2-parent home. They had split custody or something. He took him a week.
Maybe that was the best decision for the kid.
Maybe.
So we got Bomb Cherry in the building. How you doing, Bomb? You there, Bomb? You muted? Oh, she dropped off. She'll probably come back up.
I'm just saying, it's just kind of weird to have a whole stream about the black women when you do the exact same thing, is all I'm saying. That's just weird to me.
So black men are out here getting knocked up by women and then using the courts to keep the women away from the kids? That's what you're saying?
Okay, and again, the vast majority of black women are not using the courts.
And you have no source to prove that. You're just pulling that out of your ass.
There's literally government statistics for that, but okay.
There are statistics showing that black women don't go to the courts? Where?
The majority do not go to family court.
Where?
In America, hun. What are you talking about? Where?
No, and I'm saying with the source. Where are you getting this from?
Do y'all know how to do research? Or you just repeat what you hear?
Can you hear me now?
There are several websites,
yes.
Google.com for one, that will tell you this stuff. I mean, damn.
Miss J, you are fighting a losing battle when you fight with idiots with no information. So what do we know about BGS? A lot, because he's been speaking over there on his channel for years. So we do know that he is an absentee father, although he was in the household with them. He was in the household with them. How is he absentee? Because you have to be a certain type of man and a certain type of father to help with your family. His daughters, if they running over him, then he's not the father that girls need.
Bomb Cherry, take your half-sleep ass to bed.
Anyway, don't act like you don't know this already.
Bomb
You know
Cherry,
BGS.
take your half-sleep ass to bed.
BGS is the one who called his own. He called his daughters thoughts because of how they were dressed.
Maybe they are. Maybe.
Well, but whose fault would that be, though? If he is in the household.
It's his fault because his adult daughters choose to dress a certain way.
They was dressing that way before they was adults. They lived in his household.
How do you know that? How do you know
because he told us the story.
I've never heard him say his daughters were dressing like thoughts while he was in the house raising them. I've never
Am
heard
I
him say
lying, Grandmaster Troll?
He said a story where his daughters wore some that he didn't approve of, and the mother of the daughters usurps his whatever ruling of the household.
He lived with his daughters. They wore something he didn't like, and they wore it anyway. And if my dad,
he was raising his daughters with a woman that was okay with his daughters dressing like thoughts, and you wonder why he didn't stay around with the mother.
He stayed with the mother. He was living with them. If my dad told me to take some shit off, no, he was. Y'all didn't even know the story until I told the story, but now y'all gonna make up the story. Look, I don't care if you're a fucking woman or not. If you don't know the story, don't be making up shit. So he said they would leave his house dressed a certain way. Now let me tell you, when my dad told me not to wear certain things, I definitely didn't leave the house wearing certain things because my dad was a dad and he was a man. Now I may have snuck out the house.
Bob Cherry, you out here shaving your pussy for hundreds of men on camera. What you talking about, baby?
You should know because
you sticking bananas up your booty hole on Snapchat and Instagram. What you talking about, baby?
I don't even know anything about no Snapchat. What the fuck is you talking about?
Bob, use a damn freak, baby.
So we doing drama right now?
Bob Cherry,
we doing.
Okay, but don't come up here trying to act like you ain't out here doing some things, baby.
I'm a grown ass woman. What are you talking about?
Don't get up. Okay, well, so are his daughters.
What they got to do with his daughters wasn't grown. Listen, so this is the point. If his daughters became single mothers under his roof, I never had sex. You know what I'm saying? When I was living under my daddy's roof. Okay? So I just want you to know.
But as soon as you got up out that motherfucker, as soon as you left daddy's house, you out here shaving your pussy on social media.
No, once she leaves his house, she can do whatever she wants.
That's right. I can do what the fuck I want, and then it's on me. But before that, it's on my parents, right? Per Black Manosphere, per BGS, and some of these other men.
Well, I don't think she was living under his roof.
She was living under his roof while she was pregnant.
I thought she was in college.
He has more than one daughter. He has daughters. But anyway.
Okay, so you must be talking about the other one. Because the one that they were talking about, she was in college when she did. You must be talking about the other one.
My son's in college. They still live at home.
I don't know what they're talking about. I've never heard this story. I've never heard him talk about that.
That's why I started disrespecting him when he called them thoughts. He called his own daughter thoughts to a group of men on YouTube. Even if they weren't thoughts, what kind of father comes to YouTube to say it? Even if y'all mamas was crackheads, most of y'all not gonna come and tell people.
Hey, so why not?
If you don't know why,
if that's what happened, if that's what happens, that's the reality situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his channel. He's gonna be honest with his audience.
I didn't say he couldn't do it, because he did it. I didn't say he couldn't do it. I said that of a man of status, he wouldn't do it.
Facts are facts. If your daughters are thoughts, they're thoughts. My mother was a violent, abusive bitch. It is.
I bet your mama was worse than a bitch, but you won't tell it, huh? Tell us. Tell us how many cocks she was throwing down. Tell us, bruh. So you're not gonna tell us, right? Certain things we just don't talk about.
I'm sorry. What did you say? I went away from that.
I talked about your mammy, nigga. You heard what I said. Don't act like you
didn't. But man, look. I don't understand what your point is. If his daughters, if he feels a certain way about the decisions his daughters have made, it is what it is. Why do you expect him to just hide it because they're his daughters?
I don't expect him to do not a damn thing.
He's willing to come out and say, "Look, the shit that I criticize black women about, I've got it going on in my own family, and I don't even approve of my own daughters doing this kind of shit." That makes him more credible in my book.
Yeah. But you know what though, Bomb Cherry though? We have to take into account that perhaps what you're saying. Let's just take what you say at face value. Okay, let's say if you is true. What do that have to do with him being in the house and raising his daughters right, and they still making irresponsible choices. What do that mean? You can't blame the man because
I'm
your
pretty
daughter
sure
grow up.
Bomb Chair's daddy would not want his daughter sticking bananas up her booty hole on it,
Hey, come on,
social
man.
media.
Come on, man.
This dude talking about bananas. So what it does it have to do? Well, first y'all blame the women. If it has nothing to do with him, what
No
does it have
one's
to do with the
blaming.
mother? Yes, I
I'm not
heard
saying
you.
I'm blaming. Let's just be realistic. These are the women who left with the children. Why they not being responsible enough? Let's be honest, y'all.
The father was in the household. When did she leave with the children?
No, I'm saying if the father get out of the situation because he's in an environment where it's toxic and he's not being respected and appreciated, a man will leave a woman. Period.
Okay, but why he left his children though?
He didn't leave his children. He's still around for his children. He's still getting money. He's still providing, just by himself. He don't have to be with the women. That's another myth that a lot of women believe.
He doesn't
That's
have to
not
be
true.
with the woman. I didn't ask you, did he have to be with the woman? I said, why did he leave his children? See how you circumvented that?
He didn't leave his children. He got out of the situation.
And he left his children, right?
No, he didn't. He just moved on. That don't mean he don't see his children.
He moved on, left his children with a woman who wasn't responsible enough to teach him how to dress.
But you are the mother. You should know better. You should not be a fucking idiot and screw up too much. And women get away with this. Stop
What that got to do with
up.
him? If she's such a screw up, why leave your children with him?
Well, you're a woman. Don't you got it figured out? You didn't took nut, right? You suck and fuck everybody you think cute, right? You can't figure it out when it comes to your pussy and your children. That is a problem, and black women don't want to admit that. That is a problem.
Listen,
because
Zach.
I think like that about my baby mama. I'm not with her. I don't hate her. But in the back of my mind, I think, hey, chick, you should have your motherfucking mind right and make good choices for my children, even when I'm not around. Oh, you're going to screw up. You're going to use you moving on, and I'm a woman and all this other. I'm living in my truth shit. You're full of shit.
You living in the car, you mean? Like, you remember? You moved out of the house.
I just took my car for like a week. I took my car for a week because I took my pride. I took my pride and left the crib.
She took your ass. She kicked your ass out, huh? Why you lying and saying
no, she didn't kick my ass out, but she was on the lease. She was, but I paid the bills too, and I learned a lot from that. But I'm realistic about it. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Okay.
But now I live by myself.
That's weirdo.
Hold on, wait. Now I live by myself. Now I work 2 jobs and I got money, and my children have, like, everything is in order. I got the little ones, so it's easy to pay for their shit. And she can't stare in my guts because I tell her shit like, let me tell you something. Don't feed my motherfucking kids pork. Santa Claus not real to my kids. And she don't like that. And that's a problem with black women.
Why would she not like that?
Because stop putting trees in your house. Stop barbecuing like a nigga. Stop doing nigga shit. Oh, ain't nobody tell you nothing, right? Oh, okay.
This nigga is so y'all know
exactly. Part of having a relationship is knowing how to talk to someone too. I mean,
I'm not the nigga living off your beat. I never been to jail. I don't even have a tattoo. I'm not even on Facebook. So we see what you was. Hold on, we see what you respond to. We see what you like. You like the worst of us, and that's the truth. Thank you. That it's just the truth.
You said you were in jail.
No, I'm just saying it's so funny how black women love. I have this theory that black women love niggas from jail and niggas who talk all this whoop-diddy-woo shit and I'm black shit, but you don't like no intellectual black man. I can tell you don't.
Point out an intellectual man for me.
Hold on. An intellectual black man isn't. Hold on. Okay. Whatever. An intellectual black man is the man that will ask you like me when you first meet a woman, black woman, is your hair real?
Mm-hmm.
What was the last book you read? I'm just saying, is your hair real?
Girl, let me tell you about Zach.
That's intellectual.
Zach came on my panel to tell me he had a big dick. That's what he told me.
Brainwashed, period. Thank you.
You remember that?
And that's just the truth. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. Let's be real.
Sometimes that's intellectual conversation.
Honest, y'all.
He's a retarded dude. This dude retarded.
Oh, now we're retarded. Look at this, fellas. Look how they respond to us. Keep listening.
It's not us. It's you. I'm responding.
No, we have an audience. The audience love to hear this. Trust me.
Of course they do.
We're not making this shit up. You black women have a real problem with
intellectual conversation is, do you believe in Santa Claus? Is your hair real? What's the book you read?
And that's so sad. No.
Girl,
I'm just
Zach
saying
is a troll,
because
girl.
I'm not even a troll. I'm me.
Zach,
I don't
we
have
all
nothing to
know you,
hide.
dude.
I don't have nothing to hide. But I'm
You
just
lost
saying.
your girlfriend. He had a girlfriend live over there on my panel, and
cool.
she broke up with him.
Well, my girlfriend, she got mad. She got bitter.
Yeah, she got bitter because she heard the way you were speaking.
Because she heard y'all message would pretty much tainted her spirit, and she didn't know how to respond to it, man. And that
live
all the shit that y'all say about women is poisonous to women, and that's why Kevin is out.
He came back crying.
That's why you got Kevin Samuels. Ha ha. Now you got Kevin Samuels to come shut you women down and have y'all live on Instagram looking stupid and have you calling on the show looking stupid.
Shout out to Kevin.
Black man, right? Thank you.
Kevin, did y'all listen to his no jumper? So everything I've been saying about him lying and shit, he went on the white people panel, said the opposite shit that he says on his own channel. He agreed with everything that I have been saying. You niggas just eat up the lies. See, he know he don't have to tell the truth to you. He can lie to you. But when he go over there by them white people, baby, woo! If you missed that no jumper interview, you better go check it out. Because the white man told him he got all them views and everything, but you ain't making no money. Like, he laughed at it.
Yeah, the white man ain't telling nothing. That little corny ass white boy ain't do nothing. He was letting rappers smack him. What are you talking about? That little weak ass white boy who stay high on no jumper. Kevin is proving the man is still right.
No jumper like you tried to handle me on my channel. Coming over there with all that boo hoo hoo. Why are you crying about my fairy step grandfather?
It's Godfather.
I'm just saying,
I said grandfather, nigga. And you're lucky I didn't say grandmother. You heard what I said. Don't correct me, motherfucker.
He's the Godfather.
No,
I know he's your fairy godmother. That's what the fuck he is.
Listen, Bomb Cherry.
What's up,
I don't give a damn about defending Kevin Samuel. What I will say
I know you don't.
Hold on.
You a man. Watch this. You a man.
I'm just saying.
I know you a man, Zach.
No, but I'm just saying. I don't have nothing against his platform because it proves us right too. So I can still respect what he's doing.
Yeah,
don't let the women gaslight you into saying some stupid shit about Kevin. Don't let them gaslight you.
No, man,
this is what it is. I know Zach is a man. You know what I'm saying? Zach.
No fault for that.
Zach. What you mean?
How does Samuel prove that black men like bums and we like criminals when they're over there asking for men that make money in production?
Look at the call-ins. I mean, what are we saying?
I'm saying they're calling in for men who are the opposite of bums.
Right.
Does that prove
because
that we like bums?
Get that now after they've been used up.
Yeah, take the after the fact. After the fact, now they're calling for the high value.
They want Kevin after they had 2-3 kids by Devontae and DeMarquavius in there.
Your bum ass that ran through him. Oops, I'm sorry, you an incel, so we know it wasn't you per se, but
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who you talking to.
I'm talking to you, little nigga.
I don't know. Ain't no incel over here, man.
Listen, I know you sound like you wet behind the ears. Okay? I know a man when I hear one like Zach. Isn't that right, Zach?
You know, we gonna talk shit, swallow spit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we gonna have a conversation. The thing with me is I'm not here to try to, have pom-poms from Kevin, but y'all gotta give him credit for the platform for building him up.
I give you credit, Zach, for what you be doing. When you get on the panels, you know what I'm saying? You be telling these men how this shit roll, baby. I
try to be real, damn. I try to be real.
You know damn well Kevin Samuel.
It's to say some stupid shit.
You know damn well Kevin Samuel is not he's not even half the man you are, Zach.
I'm my own man. I got my own goals, but
there you go, Zach.
I mean, you can't. But I'm just saying, you can't make this up,
Bob. Why do you really hate Kevin? Why do you really hate Kevin?
Why would I hate Kevin? You still haven't proven that he told
I wouldn't say
about anything.
I said she disagreed though.
There you go. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, my brother. See what I'm
No, she
saying?
hates
Zach
that
is a
man because
man.
he won't tell women that they're in their 50s and they still got it.
Aren't you running like 2-day streams? Talking about
she was on
Kevin
panels with
for 2
Kevin
days straight?
way before this. That's why I'm saying that. Braun was on panels with him way before this. I don't think she hates him, man. I think she disagreed. Like, I don't care about his show, but I don't think she hate him. Like, oh, I really hate the nigga. Nah, you can't get mad at his platform.
They're angry. They're jealous.
See, Zach know what's going on. Why the rest of you don't know this? What's going on?
They're jealous because he's taking all the air out the room. And
He's taking all the hair out of the room because he's a hot air bag. The nigga is, listen, he sucks all the energy out with all his lies.
Kevin is putting the focus on young, fertile, beautiful women. And you old, has-been, beat-up pussy, hamburger meat pussy having bitches are mad about that.
Wait a minute. So let's unpack what you just said.
Roast beef sandwich meat pussy looking bitches are mad because he's telling women that their youth and beauty matters more than all them bullshit ass accomplishments and degrees and PhDs.
Well, what is their youth and beauty
like
gonna
the
get them?
Hunchback of Notre Dame. Nobody cares about your PhD.
What is their youth and beauty gonna get them?
But they get him a lot.
Get him a man.
It's gonna get them young children, a little photo.
So you're gonna get a group of men who don't want to be married.
I am not out here working my ass off to get some old pussy.
Kevin advocates for marriage.
Single mother,
Kevin is teaching them women to be whores. Go listen to the No Jumper interview. He says, well, yes, the right type of man to be with, the one who make the most money, he says it wouldn't be, right? It wouldn't be the guy who work in corporate America. He said that a guy who owns his own business will make money quicker. Now, even though that's not necessarily true, but that's what he said. Then he says that these women will not be able to find these men. He says, but he used to deal with women like that who's young and beautiful at the strip club. He used to hire them for tricks for him.
Bob, don't get mad because ain't nobody trying to see you twirling around no pole. Don't get mad about that, baby. Come on, I've seen old pictures of you. You used to have it, baby. It used to. I used to have it. But it ain't. Oh, you not there anymore. Don't get mad about that. Don't get mad because you can't compete with these new younger bitches. Don't get mad about it.
I'm trying to compete. See what he doing?
Hey, but what did they get?
Go ahead.
Hold on, wait.
Maybe I'll see you doing them live with the titties all on the camera and shit.
Let me ask y'all the man the question. Let me ask y'all the man the question. Hold on, wait. Let me ask y'all the man on the. Let me ask y'all the man on the question. Ask all the men on the panel a question. Okay, I'm 30. So if you're past 25 and you like something younger than 22, let's be honest. Do you like that as men?
Men like
but you're not offering marriage. So what are the women gonna get? You're not offering marriage. You're offering to share them with 3 other women.
Oh,
so again, they're young and they're beautiful. What are they getting?
You need to relax, baby.
Marriage is dead, baby. Let it go.
Other than some shared penis, what are they getting?
Nobody's trying to get married anymore.
Okay, so I'm just saying. So you're young and you're beautiful. No one's trying to get married. You don't have any money. You want to share women. They can have an apartment. Stay at the apartment one day a week.
Who has no money? Who has no money?
Yeah, the IRS says you niggas don't have money. So
you're not talking about
a millionaire. I wouldn't say that.
By the way, Kevin Samuels also says that broke ass men shouldn't be out here trying to get women either. He says that to men also. He's 10 times harder on men. He is 10 times harder on men.
That's the majority of you. So I'm just saying.
Step aside so he could get
the majority.
So I'm saying young, beautiful women are going to be sharing 3 men.
More money than black women.
Well, 3 men are going to be sharing all these young, beautiful women.
That's a
I
lot.
never heard this platform talk about polygamy.
Go back and
or
forth
multiple
about
women.
it,
Men still make more money than black women.
Monogamy and marriage.
I mean, we're all broke, so you're not exactly saying anything. It's not an accomplishment.
We're not.
We're all, black people.
You're projecting that onto us, man. You deal with
it's not me projecting. That's what the IRS says.
You
deal with the bottom of the social economic
platform. What is your net worth as black women?
We ain't got money.
As a group, what is your net worth?
We ain't got money. The IRS says that we don't have any money. What are y'all talking about?
Everybody in chat, pull out $5 out your wallet. That's the average net worth.
The IRS says that black people don't have money.
Y'all hear this shit?
The IRS
$5. The net worth of the average Black American woman is $5. How are y'all talking shit? How the fuck are black women out here calling niggas dusty when the average net worth of a black woman
the
is
IRS says
$1 bills?
The IRS says that black people as a community does not have money. So what are y'all talking about?
No.
I'm just saying we're all broke. What are you talking about?
Hold on, y'all.
We ain't shit. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying we lag behind home ownership of every other group.
For your
assets are behind every other group. What are y'all talking about?
Miss J? Hold on, Miss J. Partially that's true. Unfortunately, in this country,
I can't relate to you, dusty ass nigga.
Hold on, wait.
Keep Zach alone.
No, I'm not dusty. I'm just being realistic. Like, I see what she's saying. Unfortunately, this country would say that, but you have to take into account the variety of people who are business owners and black people who really have property and money. That's not true. Come on, man. This is America. They would say anything.
BGS just did a video on this. He went to the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Some black people have 2 or 3 houses. Some black people got money.
The majority don't.
The average American
are not homeowners. The majority don't own one home.
Yeah,
the majority of black people don't own
less than 25,000 a year. The average American.
Right. So I'm just saying.
Less than 25,000. That's all. That's across the board.
I can't
can't put it on black men.
I can't relate to that.
I said it was on black men. I said black people. We're talking about high value, high income people. When the vast majority of black people don't qualify.
See how they switch it to everybody?
Okay, then
the vast majority of us don't even qualify for this conversation.
Then how are black women out here calling black men dusty then? How are black women out here calling
black men
somebody
dusty? I'm saying
I never
by Kevin Samuel's own standards, 90% of us don't qualify.
You got dusty bitches calling dusty
You're
men
following
dusty.
a man who's by his standards, he tells everybody you don't qualify for. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Dusty bitches throwing handfuls of
own
dusty,
things,
dusty.
but we're talking about high
What does he always tell the women? He's saying the women should just get with an average guy.
I'm just saying we're worried about high value when we don't have income. So it doesn't make sense.
They don't qualify for high value man. They should get with an average man who makes an average salary.
Right.
That's what they get for the average man. You tell them that they chose wrong. That's what I'm saying. You're telling them they chose wrong. When they choose the average man.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
No.
That's exactly what y'all been saying.
The average income is not enough to have to carry a family.
The average black man is not some hood booger nigga that not some women doesn't take care of his kids.
That's
but apparently,
no, the average black man.
But I'm saying we're all the products of single mother homes.
No,
that means we're not educated. We've gone to jail.
Not all of us.
Keep jobs. Goddamn self.
Right.
All
not all of
us. Families around
not all of us.
They have 2-parent homes.
But the majority, if you look at the stats, since the 80s, which means the majority of us come from single parent homes, so we don't know how to have relationships, according to y'all. We don't know how to be wives and husbands. We don't make any money. We come to jail. We go to jail. We're not educated, but we're supposed to choose.
Hold on. What we dealing with? Hold on. Wait. Watch this, y'all. What we dealing with is women who don't want to give up power. And if you say I'm gonna lead you, they're gonna say
we're owned by the white man.
I give you all my power.
We're run by the white man.
Power, baby. Come here.
How do we have power when we're run by the white man?
No, you don't really have power like, I'm God, but I'm saying you have power as far as your position.
I'm saying black people in America has power.
Anytime you can call the police and get a man's life gone for domestic.
I mean, you can also have the power by not beating up on somebody. That's also the power.
License gone, and he can lose his money, and they can garnish his check.
But you also have the power for not committing a crime.
You can act naive all like that, like you know.
But you also have the power for not committing a crime.
Miss J is right, baby. She's right, just like you're right. Miss J is right too. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to take responsibility, right? That's what you men tell us. And you men need to take responsibility as well. We have men arguing about another man's daughter. Are y'all so it's a good topic. It is, I agree. But y'all don't even want him to take responsibility as the father, the head of the household. Now, if you're saying that it's not his responsibility, then why would it be the mother's, right? If she's grown, like y'all saying, where she's making her own decisions, then why would it be the mother's fault? It wouldn't be legal. Go ahead, baby.
Well, unfortunately, Brown Cherry, we live in a society where women go unchecked and they feel like, oh, I'm a woman and I'm vulnerable and I'm different. No, you're not. Have accountability. You raised that goddamn kid when that man ain't there.
Most of the time, if the father is not around, it's because the mother doesn't want him around.
You screwed up, and women don't like that. Period.
You men get up with other women, have more babies, and you forget about the
But I'm
babies.
saying every single time we talk about what's going on in the black community, at the end of the day, we somehow blame either white men or black women.
Look at you standing up for white daddy. Look at her standing up for white daddy.
No, let me get
every time we discuss what's wrong with the black community, it's always damn about white supremacy and the white man. That's always
Zach,
what it is.
Can you stop these fools from?
No, I'm just saying, black men as a whole don't give a fuck about white men. We're still thriving. We still work. We still take care of our kids. We are not
every time we have this, every time we have a discussion, it always ends up being two things: white supremacy or black women.
Oh, really?
That's what the problem is. At the end of the day, it's always
you got it. You're right.
Don't forget feminism.
Okay, I'm just saying. Feminism. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So,
thank you, Zach. Thank you, Miss J.
Yes, it was you two, white supremacy and black women, who worked hand in hand to destroy the black family.
Right.
You did that.
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
You did.
Yep. While you was
Y'all
in jail,
just sat back and somehow
black women chose feminism. You black women chose bra burning. You black women chose strong, independent, don't need no man over black empowerment. We
chose
that.
the government cheese and the potato flakes
you
to
did.
feed our children.
Yes, you
That
did.
was the problem.
You chose that. Yes.
And we should have sat back and chose to feed our children air. Watch them die before our eyes.
Choose to have children with men that can provide.
That was
That's
the
what
answer.
you can do.
Hey, good morning to
That's
everyone
what
on
we
the
should have
panel.
chosen. So
Hey,
again,
Stop fucking
grandmas
niggas
of the
because they
world,
look like your favorite R&B singer.
grandmas of the world.
Stop fucking
you need to
niggas because they look
apologize.
like your favorite rapper.
Right,
Stop
grandmas of the
fucking
world
niggas
need
because
to
he got light
apologize
skin and green eyes.
for
funny as
choosing
hell,
the
Bob.
government cheese and the potato flakes.
You funny as hell.
I'm sorry,
They should have chose
baby.
better.
AC is on deck, so I'm gonna have to leave you. But Zach, you my boy, okay? So when AC gone, then it's gonna be me and you again. But if you're on the opposite side of it, what AC got to say, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, babe. You forgive me?
What's going on, Miss J? How you doing? How you
I
doing?
just say we be
Hope all is
realistic.
well.
You right. Go ahead, AC.
Now I was just saying what's up to Miss J. Was saying how she doing. Hope all is well. I just got a quick question for GMT if he's awake.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey, what's going on, bro? How you?
I'm doing all right.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, yo, quick question, man. I'm just being totally honest with you, right? Because, I just come from an environment where I'm just not used to people speaking about other people's children or just out of pocket wise. Like, you may get an intimate conversation amongst your friends about people's kids, but I've just never been in an environment where people feel so comfortable. Like, I wasn't even familiar with the word doxing until it happened to me. And like going through it, like dealing with, YouTube and people just feeling comfortable talking about your kids and shit like that. Like, where does that come from where people in this space feel comfortable with bringing in people's children if they have like an ideological beef with them or if they just have some kind of YouTube discrepancy with them? Where does the impediment or where does the impediment come to? Not impediment. Where does the catalyst come to bring in another person's child, or where that's fair? That's fair game. To where you talk about people's kids and their life choices and things of that nature. When these people are adults, they have no dog in the fight. That they're not even over here to defend themselves or defend their supposedly detrimental actions and behaviors. Like, where does that come from? Where you guys feel comfortable doing that? And I'll mute out.
Can I answer on my behalf?
Yeah, let me go first. The reason there's a comfortability behind it is because BGS is so comfortable telling us about his kids. So when you break down his talking points in regards to single motherhood and relationships, and he talks about his kids, you could actually see the holes in the argument that he's trying to make.
So it's just a thing of hypocrisy. So you're trying to expose the hypocrisy of his rhetoric.
Yeah.
So you
Yes.
use so his kids become fair game based on his rhetoric, not based on anything they've done, but just based on his rhetoric.
It's based on his rhetoric because he's telling us what they've done.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So based on his rhetoric, what you guys do is you put them up as example A, and then dig into their lives and say, well, this is not actually the life that they live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
He
you feel
called them
He tells everybody it. Nobody's
he called them
he volunteers this shit.
Yeah,
well,
he calls them thoughts
saying, like,
in order to beat up on black women. So, do you think that it's fair that a man?
Well, what I think, Bomb, is that the person or whoever has a problem with him beating up on black women, I think that they need to find an argument that suffice that would defeat what he's saying and not necessarily use his children that are not really here to defend themselves or engage in the conversation per se. Like, I understand where you guys are coming from when you talk about hypocrisy and things of that nature, but I just think it's incumbent upon people to understand if a person is not there to defend themselves, or if they're put in a position to where somebody feels that they can critique their life and they don't really know them intimately, then for me, that's just like, you're not giving that person an opportunity to defend themselves, and you're just bringing them into an ideological battle because you haven't found suffice information to defeat or to expose him without, without bringing in people who are not necessarily in the battle, if you get what I'm saying.
He put them in the battle, my brother.
I understand what y'all saying by him speaking about them and making them. I understand what y'all saying. I get it. I mean, but they don't put themselves in it because he.
Yeah, but they don't. But they need to speak to their dad. If they dislike it, they will go to their dad and ask why would he putting their business on the internet.
Right. I understand. I'm just, it's just, I listen. I prefaced it with saying,
do you think black women are daughters? Do you think we're daughters and mothers of single ones? Do you think him beating up on women? Do we get the same respect that you
Mom, I don't buy into that shit anyway. I think that shit is a bunch of fluff and bullshit, and I think it's a bad look for the race as a whole. So I don't necessarily buy into that narrative. So if you push back on that and you have a combative, logical stance, then I have no problem with that. I mean, I would definitely not stop you or try to hinder you in doing so.
I feel very comfortable doing what I'm doing right now. You know why? Because he felt very comfortable telling black women who were single mothers who worked their ass off to support their kids, take care of their kids as best as they could, those who did, that they are bad for their choices and the men that they chose. And we all know that's not necessarily true. The man could be one thing one day, meet a new woman, and be another person the next.
Well, yeah, I think the whole conversation is disingenuous anyway, because when you bring up single mothers at a well-locked birth and all that, like, that statistic is just not solely women that's not in relationships. Single mother mean that her marital status means single. It doesn't necessarily mean she's alone and not in a relationship with a mate. So I think we're disingenuous when we use that number. And it's crazy how we just parrot white people's labels and white people's ideas of us to describe ourselves and to further demean us and defame us and make us out to be this vile group of people. It's like we don't even try to think about all the people around us that work hard, that we see with families, that we see doing the right thing. Like, a lot of us are around people that are in relationships and have kids and have jobs and careers and doing better and buy homes every day and buy properties and start businesses. And it just seemed like the narrative over here is just like the whole black community.
But that's not the narrative.
It's not really parroting anything.
That's not the narrative over here.
That's
the narrative over there. That's not it over here.
Like, that's all everybody fucking talk about. Are you fucking serious?
No, that's the narrative over there, and we're simply pointing it out. That the things that they're having hours-long live streams about
first and foremost,
don't make sense when you use their own talking points.
Well, first and foremost, if you're listening to what I'm saying, if the shoe doesn't fit, then that's not directed at you.
But I'm saying you're coming on this channel asking the question about that. I'm just saying he's simply pointing out that what they're saying by their own logic does not make sense. That's all he's doing.
I don't understand what that has to deal with what I'm saying.
I'm saying, but you're asking him though. Like, he's wrong.
He is.
I stand with
I'm not saying he's wrong. I was
PMP on this.
First and foremost, hold on. First and foremost, I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just trying to get a better understanding of what his position is where he feels comfortable doing it. Because I'm not familiar with people behaving in such a manner. And if you would have heard my question in the beginning, you would have heard me prefaced it with that.
But I'm saying he literally told you what he was doing.
And I have no problem with the conversation moved on. Me and Bomb started talking about something else, so I don't know why you're referencing back to that when we was past that.
Hi, my question's for Grandmaster Troll. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just have a question. I've been listening to your channel. I've been a fan of yours for like a month now, quarantine over here in Europe. I see a lot of Black men relocate to Europe, and they say, oh, we're going to marry women of other ethnicities, and we're going to have a better experience. And I meet a lot of women in my country that I'm in over here who are now single mothers with Black American men. And the Black American men actually have multiple children with multiple people. So no, it's not funny. It's really sad because sometimes these children end up in adoption or orphanages. Like, I don't understand why there's not. Grandmaster Troll asked everyone on the panel a specific question, and all of the men rolled over his question. And I was so happy to hear that because I actually had this experience 2 years ago where I was talking to a man in America and he would roll over my questions. And I was like, he didn't answer the question. He just blah, blah.
So would you call it an epidemic? Would you call it like an epidemic of Black men impregnating women?
Can I finish? So my question to Grandmaster Troll is if the epidemic is all women, why are there single women? Why are there women with children left in Vietnam, here in Germany, Netherlands, Spain, by Black American men? And why are some of the Black American men who are relocated here have multiple children by multiple women? Thank you, Grandmaster Troll. This is for Grandmaster Troll. Thank you very much, sir.
Go ahead, Grandma.
Well, to answer that question, I think I did a comparison as into the star point guard who has a championship game tomorrow and he doesn't show up to that championship game and the team loses. It's up to those men who are creating those single mothers to actually be the starting point guard for that family.
Okay, look, let me answer it, Grandmaster Troll. Let me get straight to the point. Straight up. First and foremost, stop with this myth of Black men having issues with women in other cultures, and no, we're not leaving them single mothers. No, we don't.
Military men. Yes, you do.
Keep going.
You do. No. You're going in other countries, laying with these women, and
no, we're not.
It's an epidemic, Doc. It's a worldwide epidemic. Black men are impregnating the world. Illegitimate kids.
I know. It sounds good on paper. It sounds good, but
it would sound good if you was using your penis. But listen,
it's not about my penis.
Doing this shit, baby. Y'all doing
listen, I would use myself for an example.
You can't use you, but you a different type of man, baby. Okay, so it's not you. We're not accusing you. It's the mother niggas on this panel.
Yes. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's been going on so long. At some point in time, we have to kind of get hip to what's going on and stop letting it happen.
At the end of the day, the Black man is
Lord, here we go with that bullshit. When it comes from another woman, it's ridiculous. Right?
No, the Black man
we're the ones left with the kids.
So you telling me a woman meets a man, he treats her well, right? And she knows no better. Some of these men can go months with treating this woman well, and then she gets pregnant and he goes. And you saying that's her fault?
I'm saying at this point in time, the culture, we know what's going on. It's happened too many times. Back in the day, earlier, we could say there's not a possibility. Now we know this is what's happening. So You got to prepare yourself
I
to
see
get
what
better.
you're saying. You're saying that we
It's
need
already
to
happened
come
before.
together, all women, and we need to put these niggas. We need to say no to you.
No,
Yes,
you can't say no.
That's what needs to happen.
No, you
if you want
can't
to
say
stop
no
out of
to
wedlock
that.
birth rates, that's what
Listen,
you're going to have to do, because you
Hey,
can't
Bomb,
tell them
these
to
are
do it. They're
black
not going
white
to do it.
people, Bomb. These are black white people. These are perfect black people who don't make mistakes, who are perfect,
I'm
who
saying
are
we have made
angelic,
mistakes, but we also
who
have to
are
learn.
great,
And what happened
who
in the
are
past, it
infallible.
has
That's who
happened.
they are,
But
Bomb.
going forward,
These
we
are
have
the
to make the
perfect.
change.
These are the perfect black
I'm
people.
not condemning people
They
who did
make
it in the
no
past. I'm
mistakes.
saying going forward, we have to learn.
They're flawless in their way they live their life, Bomb. These are the perfect black folk, Bomb. We should be
Forward,
grateful to be in their presence, Bomb.
I didn't make my mistake. I know that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe these young people, they perfect, but
They
we make
perfect,
mistakes.
Bomb.
Get up.
They're perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
They're perfect.
No, nobody's perfect.
But I'm just saying
But
we
what
have to
I
break
don't
the
want to
cycle.
leave my brothers though, but
You
AC,
gotta break
do
the
she have
cycle.
a point though? Do she have a point? Listen to the
I
rhetoric
mean,
coming
Bomb,
from
the
these
thing
black
is, right? Relationships, when we talk about this thing, it's not a static thing, right? It's like you hope to have an optimal relationship. You hope to meet somebody optimal. And yes, create a standard so people that you bring in your life will meet a certain standard. So the chances of you guys succeeding are greater because you have a standard and this person meets the standard.
That's true.
But even
That's true.
sometimes in that, things go wrong, things happen. It's not always a perfect situation. Like we can't sit and wait. It's almost like that thing, I ain't going to church until I get the perfect suit, right? Like you ain't gonna never get the perfect suit, because when you get there, somebody gonna have a better suit. When you get there, somebody gonna have a better hat.
being created.
But I'm just saying, y'all, we in our community, we have it higher than other communities, so we can admit that we need to do better.
Other communities because we don't marry like other communities, because we don't have the economic resources, because we don't have the industrial resources. It's just deeper than the relationship thing. It's deeper than the love. It's deeper than the hearts. It's deeper than the sexual attraction. It's other things. It's societal pressures and powers that we trying to gain and get. It's bigger than that, and we gotta just stop putting it to out of
can I say something real quick?
Shit like that.
That's true on that.
Shit.
Hey, good morning, family.
Shit.
What's up, y'all? Can I say something real quick? I gotta correct the record. I gotta correct the record because I'm over in Germany right now, and I'm a military veteran.
Thank you.
And I want to correct
too. I was stationed in Germany.
Yeah, hold up, but let me correct the record real quick.
Hallo, guten Tag.
I was in Germany.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
I ain't trying to. I let my Euro speak for me, sister. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to try. I don't have the inflection.
I was relocated over here by Puma, and I've been working here in Europe for over 12 years. I was relocated here from America. They moved my furniture, my car, everything. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not here as a normal person. I have worked my hardest to correct Black images, and I told Grandmaster, I called him about a month ago and said that a lot of these.
I'm not going to jump down your throat.
Let him talk.
Yo, I'm not trying to jump in your throat, sister. Don't really.
Go ahead, Jay.
Let me clip the record. All right. When you talk about the military is a small portion of the American population. Period. All right. There's no epidemic, and when we talk about military, can I finish, Bomb?
No,
can I finish, Bomb? Bomb, I haven't started yet. Wait. Hold on. What percentage of the population is military in America?
1%.
She's talking about over there.
All right, so exactly. So let me finish. I'm setting the foundation, Bomb. Chill out. That's what I'm saying. Listen. So when you talk about, an epidemic, that can't be possible because there's not even a big population of men to do it. Now, most of the men, we talk about 1% of the population, you're talking about all military, which is white, black, whatever. All right. So
I didn't say epidemic.
Can I finish, dog? I have
Let him get it off.
God damn, I can't even finish a point. I haven't even said anything for you to jump back against.
But I'm not jumping down your throat. I did not say epidemic. That didn't come out my mouth.
Okay.
I didn't say you said that. I didn't say you said anything. I didn't put words in your mouth. Don't put words in mine.
Okay,
I'm just talking. I'm talking. The way you just spoke a minute ago and you were saying what you were saying, I'm going to say what I want to say.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm laying down some facts right now. All right. So the bottom line is this: most of the men over here are not even black; they're white. White men leave most children behind. White men have left the most children behind in Vietnam, in Japan, in Korea. All right. So my issue is this: when we talk about black men, we got to keep it in context. who the main perpetrator is. Are there black men who left kids behind? Yes, but that shit got to be put in context. I'm over here right now. Most of the black men who expats who stayed over here in Germany or left Germany who have kids behind, they didn't leave their kids behind. The wife or the woman who had the kid didn't want the kid to go with him.
Yep.
So you either live in Germany or you go home. You either live in Vietnam or you go home. If a man goes home and the woman doesn't follow and she doesn't bring a kid with him, what is he supposed to do? That's not abandoning the child. You know what I mean? You're taking it out of context. This Zaza Beats was made that way. Boris Kojo was made that way. That's a hard decision. So now I have a baby in Germany. I'm supposed to stay in Germany? If she doesn't want to come back, what I'm supposed to do? Now, are there some assholes in this mix? Sure. But most of the men that are over here, that are expats, are married to German women and living with them. So that's what I'm saying. It's a false narrative. You know what I mean? You got to keep shit in context. It's irresponsible. I don't like when I'll give you a bone, sister. I don't like it when black men make women the mother of ratchetness. I did a video on my channel called "The Mothers of Whore Culture," which are white women, because it's a false narrative to lay that at the feet of black women. All right, or our group. A lot of the shit that we got going on with us, we got from another group. That's facts. A lot of the behaviors we got from another group of people. All right, that's just the truth of the matter. Now, do we have ratchet females and ratchet black women? Sure we do.
Yeah.
We do. But I'm not going to sit there and allow,
ratchet men? Do we have ratchet men? Because I never see that word being.
Sure. I just said that. I was about to say that, sister. So a lot of the bad behaviors we got to keep in mind we got from another group of people. All right, you can't have it both ways. You can't talk about how black men are mirroring white patriarchy and then excommunicate white men from the conversation. You can't talk the same thing I say to the brothers. You can't talk about whore culture and excommunicate the fucking mother of whore culture, which is white women. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got to keep everything in context when we talk.
The benefactors of
No.
That happens to be men, right?
Jay Shine been consistent on that. He been checking black men on that too. He didn't disagree with us too. I give him that. He telling the truth.
Oh yeah, I'm hella. I'll push back. The reason why I push back against system the way I did is because the shit to me was a flawless ideology. I'm not. First of all, I'm not putting no fucking other female.
Can I say something about myself before you keep continuing to assume? I have been over here. I have as I said before, the last time I called into this live, I have been, and the only thing I have told them, I have defended black men on all fronts. And then when we went into lockdown, I heard this channel and all kinds of channels for hours and hours upon hours a day. All you do is talk about, and even prior to you entering this live stream, I listened to for 2 hours, black men talk about black women aren't worth but $5. Black women this, black women that. And I when I came over here, my intention when I working with a lot of these companies, and I said this from the last live, is to open doors for more of us to come over here and work. Because there are a lot of talented people, and I have mentored and brought people over here in these companies, but I have never heard from any race of men, and I have worked in a lot of different countries, the hatred for me.
Oh, hatred. Oh, wow.
I feel like it's hatred because sometimes when I go,
we not the man beating you. We not the man sleeping on your couch. Sorry about that.
Let her finish.
I listened to this minister, whoever, all of these people during quarantine. It was a serious lockdown here. And I called them last month for the first time. It was a lockdown. Home office even stopped. I'm on Tausite. I don't know if you know what Tausite here is in Germany. It's like where you're working, but you're not, they're holding you as an employee, but you're not working. And I heard so many times. And the first time I called in here, it was about a month ago. I said, this is really hurting my feelings. And the only thing the men could say is, oh, well, what are you bringing to the table? And I think to myself, for the past 8 years, I have tried to clear up so many misled stereotypes. But that's why I shot back at that arrested whoever was on there. You're saying all of these things, and you're saying it's the black women's problem why black men are not present in the family. Sorry, guys, I keep forgetting my English. I've been here so long.
I said that.
Yeah, and then I'm saying,
I got a quick response to that.
Excuse me. So that's when I replied, with the question not to him because I don't want to argue
I got a
with
question
anyone on the panel. I reply with the question
Can I
to
ask you a question?
Grandmaster Troll. Then why is it for my own two eyes
Sister,
when
can I
I
ask
was
you a
living
question
in
real quick?
Nuremberg? Toot me like my
Sister,
own
can I
eyes
ask you
when
a
I was.
question?
Excuse me, let me finish.
Let's
I'm
have a
almost
conversation.
done.
I know you don't have to be
almost
almost done. I'm gonna let
done.
you continue.
Like,
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Let her finish, Jay Sean.
No,
bro.
I'm gonna ask her a question because she's gonna keep going. I want to ask
Okay,
a question before she changes to another point. I'm gonna ask you a question, sister. Are you a swirler or are you a divester? Because
no, I'm not.
Exactly.
No,
So
I'm
my
not.
question is this. My question is this. So
come
then,
on,
would I be right? Would I be right to let them represent black women in my psyche?
I
See how
don't
they
know
switch
who
it
you
up? Now it's
are.
about
I've never heard of you.
No, I'm not saying that. It's not about divestment.
I've only been on this space 3 weeks, so sorry, I don't know you.
No, my question
all I'm
is this.
telling
My
you
question
is
is this.
what
Yo,
I've
black
been
people, we
seeing.
make all this shit
What
too
I've been seeing
complex,
between
man.
men
Like,
and
this
women
shit is too
is
complex. Like,
what I've been
you just
seeing
gotta
between men and
understand
women
that
on this
the way
space is
people
really
talk crazy shit is
heartbreaking.
trauma.
It
We're
is
dealing with
heart-wrenching,
trauma.
to be
We're
honest.
dealing with
So my point
rejection.
was
Like,
going to
we
be
make
this.
it
And
too
he won't let me
complex.
finish
Like, all
my
this is too
point. And now that's
complex.
controlling.
One at a
Like, I
time,
don't get
y'all.
it.
One at a time. We all good.
AC, not AC, excuse me, Anissa. We can have a back and forth, sister. You don't have to go on for
Right,
half
but
an
my
hour.
original point before you sidetracked me was, again, when that brother made those comments, I didn't call in to argue with anyone. That's why I directed my point at Grandmaster Troll. And I asked him, well, if it's all women's points, it's not a black or white thing. I'm not doing that here. My point was a small point. Why is it that then when you go to other countries where I've been, I have been in Nuremberg. I lived there for 4 years, and I met several brothers who had the same situation as in America. They don't stay with their women. So that was my question because I listened to these brothers on this panel for 2 hours say we're worth $5. Women are all shaving their vaginas on. We're all ratchet. So no.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, but what you did is you came in and you did a flying.
You're very defensive too, by the way. Yeah,
no, I'm
very
not
defensive.
sensitive.
Yeah, you are.
No,
you're very defensive.
Okay,
yeah, you're making everything about you, and it's not
when
about
men, because you addressed me, and
I want to clear up some shit
and
that's
you
being
don't
said.
know.
Right.
Okay, so
let's argue the points. Not make it personal.
I get your point. However, the point I date. I'm telling you, like even in the military, it's not it. In the military, it's not any better.
I get it. I'm from the military. I could sit all day and all the fuckery in the military.
My mother moved to Fayetteville for a contract, and I went there to visit her several times when she was living there before she passed. And I'm telling you, like all I wanted to say is this: forget about all of that. Overall, like with the black community, if you go to Fiji, you go to Africa, you go to different places, we are all dealing with the same things. Fiji is not a part of Africa, sir. But
you just said Africa. I'm just asking. Sorry about that.
Yeah, but when Fiji is where my father's from, the Pacific Asia, Fijian and Solomon Islands.
What about Cameroon? What about Ghana?
In Ghana or in Africa. So again, when you go
exactly
around,
in Africa, who's leaving most of the children behind right now?
Thank
Chinese men. One of my issues is that you keep making black men a poster child for everything.
That's not my point.
Then why you keep blaming the black men? Say men in general.
Because y'all blaming black women.
No. You keep saying that there's the same problem. It's the same problem. You're making it like there's something inferiorly wrong with black men. So everywhere we go,
I didn't say that.
Problem.
Y'all see this shit? Y'all been up here for hours, and one woman saying something about black men, and you feel like you got to rush up.
Exactly.
That's not the case. That's not the case. I have every right to come up here and correct the record, especially when I'm living over here.
Yes,
I'm living over here.
And
most of the black men I work with who hopped the fence and stayed over here and kept expats, they are married to these white women.
Thank you.
What part of Germany do you live in?
I'm out here. I work in Wiesbaden, man. I'm out here in Frankfurt.
Okay.
Let me,
right, I'm with.
Right,
The
let me,
second
let me,
biggest garrison,
right.
the second biggest garrison of Americans. The biggest one is down in Ramstein,
it is. It's very
and
nice
all these white men and Latino men and white men are here
It's
with
very
fucking
nice down there.
German
I
women.
was
But why
Okay,
stationed.
is
I
now
it
a
was
lot
that?
of
stationed
Why
in
is
a lot of
it
Bitburg,
kids
that?
that get left
Ramstein,
behind,
and
quote unquote,
Frankfurt.
left behind,
So,
is
Jay Sean,
because
you
it's a
100%
very
correct.
simple point. It's a very
You're
simple point.
100% correct, Jay
It's
Sean.
a
I was stationed in Ramstein,
yeah.
Bitburg, and Frankfurt.
Thank you.
You were
It's a very
Hold on,
simple
hold on,
reason
wait,
why
wait.
these
let
kids
me
left
ask you this.
behind.
Let me ask you
It's very
this.
simple.
Let me ask you this question, Jay
One at a
Sean.
time, y'all. I got y'all. I got your back.
Let me.
But because of what white men did, they created a system where not only these women cannot only get child support, they also get benefits from these military men. So there's a lot of shit people leaving out of context.
Choose better. Choose better. That's what they
That is now
No. I'll tell you what.
that
I'll tell
is
you what.
true.
Tell these German
That's
hoes
true.
to choose better. How
We're
about that?
talking about fatherhood. We're not talking about money and benefits.
Nah, he
We're
got
talking
a
about
point too.
being
Anissa,
that
if I
man
have sex with you tonight, if I have sex with you tonight and I leave
that
and I get deployed back home to America and then I find out you have a kid 8 months later, how the fuck did I leave you?
Listen, this was not the point before you jumped in the conversation. You're changing the narrative of my original point. And so I'm just gonna, I don't want to argue. I haven't had an argument in 10 years. I feel like I'm starting to feel a little stressed. I will just say this. Here in this forum, we're always talking about black women, black women, black women. And then when I make my point about my observation, you want to compare yourself to the white man. Okay, I get it. And I will
compare
say
myself to nobody.
But my second point is, and my original point is, universally, we've all been colonized. We are all facing the same dilemmas and problems. And I'm not taking away from the military. I have 4 uncles in the military. And one cousin who if he hears a back
How many
shot
kids did they leave behind? How many kids did they leave behind?
Let me say something.
I'm curious. How many kids did your 4 uncles leave behind? I'm curious.
Listen to me, please.
No, that's a, no. I'm saying it's a legitimate question. How many kids did they leave behind, sis?
My
Did they contribute to the epidemic?
No.
I mean, I bet you they left none
We're
behind.
from New Hampshire. We're indigenous. My family's very conservative.
So
my
y'all special.
I
got it.
So they black and didn't leave any behind.
I know.
My aunt married a soldier who had 2 children from 2 different women, and then she didn't have children with him.
No, don't put it on your aunt. Put it on the 4 men. What about the 4 men? One of those men married your aunt.
I'm trying to give you a bone. Chill.
No. What you just did.
Are your uncles serial impregnators? Are your 4 uncles serial impregnators?
No, sis, you just
came back.
Both of y'all had great points. Y'all don't have to argue. Both of y'all had good
Sister,
points.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just pointing out the fact
You are
sidestepped 4
trying
black
to
men.
argue with me because you won't let me finish my original point.
No, you just brought up your 4 uncles. You just sidestepped 4 uncles. Let's talk about what they did.
So I have one uncle. I have one cousin who served in Afghanistan 3 rounds, and he just came home last year.
What about the kids? You heard what he asked you. Don't sidestep it.
He has 3 children. Can you let me finish, lady? He has
but you
3
don't have to
children.
listen. You're not gonna play with me playing with these.
He has 3 children.
Don't worry about it, bro.
I am answering if you let me finish.
Yo,
how long you gotta talk to get to the point?
So long to get to the point.
Like this lady just been rambling on and ain't made a point yet. Ain't made a point yet.
You done mentioned your
talking about.
uncles and all kinds of shit.
Has flowed so many different places.
Hey, Bomb is my sister, man. First of all, Bomb is my sister. All right, and Bomb.
I'm not talking about Bomb. I'm talking about.
I know. I want to talk to Bomb real quick. Hey, Bomb. The point I'm trying to make is this, sister. There's a lot of, toxic women out here too, right? And I don't let them be the representation of you. You understand me? In my mind.
Yeah, no.
You feel me,
my brother?
That's all I was trying to say.
I know.
It's not even about comparing. I know you got some incels out here. I know that.
I understood her.
I know.
She was saying that
I bang on incels. I bang on systems. You know what I mean? So everybody knows that about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I bang on niggas in a minute. But the problem is I will never let, context get out of control. You know what I mean? I will never let women become the fucking poster child for hoism, even though we deal with most of the black female bullshit, right? You know what I mean? That go on with black women. But I'm still not going to let that be laid at her feet. I know where it comes from. No, black women didn't create porn. Black women didn't create fucking prostitution and the whole culture. Marilyn Monroe, that wasn't black.
They adopted
you see what I'm saying? See what I'm
Right.
saying? So whore culture was created by a whole other group. Our women picked it up because we're under these other people. And that's really the fucking problem. We got to get the fuck from under these people.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay,
But
so
Jay
Jay
Sean,
Sean, I have a question for you.
go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think we had some other people up here. I mean, Grandmaster Troll, take care of your panel, baby.
Yeah, because this lady is, oh my God.
I have one question for Jay Sean, because he said when men go over there and they get women pregnant, then they have to leave, and the women doesn't want to come.
They don't have to.
Why are they putting themselves in the position where they have to leave the children? Why don't they have an established union, marriage, or an agreement with the woman they're sleeping with before they get them pregnant?
It's
and
the
they
same
have
thing I
to
tell
go.
brothers. I tell brothers all the time, GMT. I tell brothers all the time. When we sit here and talk about hopping the fence as if these women over here are now hoes. All right, I got young soldiers out here that go to the club. There's a club out in Mines. They go there all the time, and all they doing is running through these white girls. So my point is, one of those brothers get deployed back to America, and then she has a child. She's not going to leave Germany. Germany has free social health care over here. They have free everything over here. They're not leaving. They're not leaving this country. You know what I mean? To come over to America. Then there's also an immigration issue as well. So what they can do is get child support if they got enough information on that GI, whether he's white, black, or whatever. And the ones that started all of this shit, that did all of the main damage, is the white boys. If you go back to World War II, you know what I mean? Back to the Vietnam War, all this shit kicked off with the white boys. So are there black men doing this kind of stuff? Sure, but it's not done out of malice. Again, if I go have sex this weekend with a German woman, and then I decide to go back home in 2 months, you know, I go back home. You know what? I'm done being in Germany. I'm going back home. I'm going back to work in DC. And then I find out 6 months later, the girl, I got her pregnant. What do? I'm supposed to move back to Germany? No. What I would do is pay that child support, you know, and we work out our situation. But we can't sit here and create a narrative like we abandoning children. That's not how it goes. There's more detail than that. And these women, like I said, in Germany are not leaving Germany for America. They got free healthcare, free education. These girls get 2 fucking years of maternal leave over here. You understand me?
He is right. The social system is good. 15% of your income automatically goes to healthcare, and then when you go have a baby, you work for 1 year. The first year you receive 60% of your income.
Yep.
But with that again, 15. So for me, I pay 586 euros every month for my health insurance. It's not free. It's compulsory. It's mandatory.
It's very expensive too.
But again, I'm just going to say this and I'm going to go. You jumped in on the end. I was responding to the brother who already left because I listened to him for 2 hours say that this is what women do. So I lived in California. I lived in Studio City. I saw the same thing with white women there. And they were single moms. Some of them were my friends that had black kids. God. I've seen it with Latino. So my question wasn't with all black men. It was a general question.
Right.
Why is it that if it's just black women that cause the man, this is exactly what he said. He said, black women are so toxic and the way their behavior is the reason why we have to leave and why we're not around. And I said, well, then what is the case when I see with other races?
That's a good point.
You can't just say black women.
That's a good point. She got a good point, y'all. She got a good point.
And even here in Germany, if you're a black man and in Germany, and if the way you guys talk to black women, if you raise your voice to a German woman like that, she will call the police on you.
Well,
that was my point. So again, I apologize, Jason, if you took it the wrong way, but it was really directed at that dude who kept saying it was only black women's fault. And I have seen single black women from a lot of children from black men from a lot of different cultures.
Yeah.
And I'll say,
Well,
as I said before, this is not a comparison.
Wait. Let me say something. How do you explain? I really hate to go back to this, y'all. I know this don't really mean nothing. It's probably off the topic, but how do you explain Kevin's show as far as black women being proudly getting on his Instagram, getting on these shows and telling their goddamn business, and it proves black men right? And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you can hear what
white women do it too. Latino women do it too. You may not just watch those programs, and they want attention.
Yeah,
They're attention-seeking individuals.
Exactly.
I mean, that's as simple as that. Like,
and I was going to say,
I'm not judging black women. I'm just being realistic
correlation
over what I see.
there's women of all races on Instagram. There's women of all ethnicities on Instagram busting it open. Like black women don't corner the market on busting it.
That's true.
Exactly.
But most, but most women of other
I mean, there's
races
a white
still
red
are
pill
married
space for a
with
reason.
families,
Thank
more so
you.
black women. So who
I'm saying
cares?
there's a white
Who cares about other
MGTOW.
race people?
White boys created MGTOW, and they created the red pill space, and there's a red space for a reason, you know. And they got their own nicknames for their women and all kinds of shit. Girls going wild. We act like we don't ignore all this shit. So when I get into these conversations about what's better on the other side, it's not really that. The issue is culture. The society is oversexed. We're in an oversexed society, so we have a lot of irresponsibility. So Bon Cherry sold it up earlier. She said that there's a responsibility on both sides. She's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would never tell a young man, you know what I mean? Just like I don't like when women, you know, just completely take accountability from other women. You know what I mean? Like they just make them a victim. I say the same thing to men too. Like, all right, look, these women are gonna take you to court, they're gonna get you some child support, they're gonna run off to the next nigga. So what you need to do is protect your seat. You understand me? Until we work this shit out. Everybody's gotta protect themselves. I got a daughter.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
17 years old.
Jay Sean, though. I'm just saying, bro. At that point, are we saying that black men are not right about what we think?
No, we're not saying that. We're not saying that at all.
What we're saying is your individual situation.
No, I'm just...
Hold on, bro. This is what we're saying.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Your individual situation is your individual situation.
That's true.
And you can't generalize all black women based on your individual situation, right? Yeah. Like you just, like the brother said, you just got to get a defense mechanism to protect yourself and your seeds, right? You got to focus on the you. You can't focus on the shit that's outside of you because you can't change that shit. You know what I mean? But you can change you. You can change your environment. You can change the life of your babies. You can change everything because you control that, right? And once you get knowledge of self, you can really make a difference. So it's not about raging against the machine or raging against the generalization of bad black women. Like I've had bad experiences with black women, but I know that's individual experiences. And as I've grown older and learned their story, I was like, okay, that makes sense now why they behave like that because they didn't know any better, right? So as I get older and get wiser, I see certain situations where I may have felt a certain way about a person, but once I found out their story, it was like, oh shit, I can't even jump down their back because I got that same story. So it's about just living your life and experiencing the shit you got to experience for yourself and doing the best you can for you. And if you got to make rules and shit between you and your woman. If you got kids, this is certain expectations you can set because you got your babies around her. But if that shit not being met, then you got to take your babies away from her, and you can't say, "Well, damn, at least you could have figured it out." No, you can't even tell her. At least
in case you didn't know, brother. In case you didn't know, I just want to real quick say this: I got custody of my daughter. You know what I mean? So when I talk shit about about men, stepping up and getting theirs and taking kids from women, I'm not saying that shit hyperbole. I mean it. I fucking mean it. I'm dead fucking serious. So, if she's a bad mother, go get the kid from her. You know what I mean?
Don't let society tell you that you can't raise your kids or you ain't under no different pressure than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you got female kids, you may have to get support, people to do her hair and things like that. And when she get older, deal with female situations. But bro, don't at one point think you don't have the ability to be a single father and raise your kids just as well.
You're breaking up, bro.
Ever doubt yourself that
you're breaking up a little bit, bro.
Because I've seen plenty of men do it. Like me and my crew, that's one thing people always give us credit for. That we try to
Okay, but look.
So I want to say this. I was want to say this because I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. I want to say this, man. Hey, bro, you breaking up bad, man. We can't understand what you saying.
Yeah, bro, you breaking up. You breaking up a little bit, bro. Hey, you breaking up, bro.
Before I go, I just want to say this. Look, the same reason I came here to defend black men is the same reason I would defend black women. You understand me? In certain situations. Yeah, we got a problem with black women, but it's our fucking problem. All right? That's our chick. And we're going to have to deal with her. And she's going to have to deal with us. 19 million black men and 22 million black women. We all not cis women and fucking swirling. We're going to have to deal with each other. That's just the way it goes. This is our group. Let's get our shit back on track. Let's get our shit right. I know it's fucked up. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat the shit. It's fucked up. I could sit here and go on for hours and hours about my baby mama. But you know what, though? I got enough integrity as a man to say, you know what? I fucked her. I got her pregnant. So we're going to just keep it moving. Oh, she don't want to be a good mom? Okay, I get custody. We're going to keep it pushing. You see what I'm saying? But going forward, 2-3 generations down the road from now, we got to start thinking about them. So whatever we got going on between us, we got to clean this shit up. All right? We got to clean this shit up. I know it's fucked up. There's a lot of bullshit with black women. We can sit here and go in all day. But as men controlling our environment, that's what men do. we're gonna have to redirect things. And I'm not talking about being nice. I'm not talking about kissing our ass. I'm not talking about kowtowing. I'm talking about getting on some real man shit, some dime shit, and taking over our situation and running shit the way it needs to be ran. That's all I'm about. So thanks for letting me come up, GMT. Y'all niggas be easy, man. I'm gonna get back to work and get my money. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to clear up that because I don't like false narratives about us being thrown out in the world. All right, as a
It
black man,
wasn't a false narrative. It was a question towards one man.
I understand, sister, but that's what I'm just saying. That's the reason why I jumped up here. And I appreciate the conversation with you as well, sister. All right, but you know, y'all be easy, man. Y'all be cool, and you know, sister, if I would say this, you know, my last advice to you, sisters, is like, just turn that shit off, man. All right,
No,
I
have a nonprofit in Richmond, Virginia, that helps black men in crisis who are out in the streets, who are recovering from drugs and getting out of. You're not talking to someone who doesn't care. But again, it was me sitting here for 1 month, listening. You guys, it's like a double standard. You can bash. But when someone says something in return,
there's a lot of black women on
when you
you
say to somebody,
I think you're on the wrong channel. There's plenty of channels that go in on black men if you want to go to that channel.
You said, no, because I care. And when I sit here and I listen that all black women are $5 horse and all black women, and I look at like,
wow, $5 horse.
This is what this guy said with the red icon.
We didn't say it like that. Come on, be honest.
He said
if you say someone's a whore with $5, it is a $5 whore.
Can I correct something before I go? I just saw something in the chat room. I just want to correct something before I go. See, this is the bullshit. All right, somebody named Mover, Arrow, or Earth, whatever the fuck. Let me just say something to you, sis, or whoever you are. You know, I created a single mother. Sure, I did, but I also got custody of my kid. See, this is what I'm talking about. Instead of giving me credit for being a single dad who has a 17-year-old kid who raised a kid by himself for 16 years, she was willing to go to the negative. You see what I'm saying? This is the bullshit amongst us.
No. I agree with you on that.
This is the bullshit amongst us. I just want to point that out, and I want you to know anybody in the chat room who got smoke for me. I'm here for that work. You understand me? I'm the wrong one. All right, I'm the wrong one because I live the shit I talk about.
Yeah, my older brother had custody of his first son, and that's not an easy job for a man.
Listen, I would even debate that it's suitable for black men to have more than one woman. Seriously.
Oh,
I gotta run, y'all. It's been good, man. Thanks for
well.
Be good.
All right, peace. I'm gonna get ready to end this. So, final thoughts.
All right, but no. I was saying I would go so far to say that it's appropriate that black men have more than one woman. And one of the reasons is because I think black men are resilient enough to really handle more than one woman. I know for myself, it's enough for me to go around. I'm not a dog. I'm not thirsty. I don't really seek women, but I want a variety of women, period. That's it. I'm 30 now.
Amen.
I have my kids. I'm not a cheater or a liar, but, you know, I'm going to just be real to women out there. A guy like me to the women, I mean, I have a 9-inch dick, so I can handle 3 or 4 women. And let's be real. You know, I mean, that's it.
Yeah, the man wants what he wants. Okay, I want to say that.
Unfortunately, that's not trolling. That's for real.
Oh yeah, 50% of black men, I guess, unmarried, have no kids. Another 30% are married in a marriage. So again, we're talking about a minority of 20% of black men here that are having, I guess, supposedly all these kids out of wedlock. So we just need to keep that in context. That it's a minority of men we're talking about here. All right, I'm out.
And by the way, the CDC does point out that 40% of black children don't have a father listed on the birth certificate. So keep that in mind when you're doing the stats. Just saying.
Noted. All right. Thanks, GMT, for letting me up.
Man, you ending the GMT, man? You ain't going hard tonight, huh?
Yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning. I gotta wake up in the morning.
It's 1:30, man. It's 3:40 out here.
Because he's in California.
Oh, yeah, you in Cali, man. All right. Yeah, man. Try to keep it cool, man, you know. Y'all be cool out there, man, you know.
All right.
This was a great convo, Grandmaster Troll. It was wonderful. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for our own genitalia, so let's do the best we can do. That's all there is to it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to you later.
All right, take care, Mrs. J. Okay, looks like we had a great convo, and it looks like BGS Ibmor may have redeemed himself. Maybe it's not his fault for his daughter's poor mating choices. But y'all know who it is. It's your boy, Grandmaster Troll. Great talk. Thanks for all the people who supported or came in the chat. Somebody says, can you handle your baby mama first? You guys are funny. AC Star says, GMT, I'll hit the email for the interview. Okay, I'll be looking for the interview. Check out the AC Star Talk Radio show in the morning. He's got a pretty good show. He's got one of the loudest mics in this space. But I'm getting ready to go to bed. Peace.